Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Every episode microplot is a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macro plot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these adventures in any order and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today, we are playing using the combat mechanics from a game called Dragonbane. It's our first time playing, so we might make some mistakes. If you enjoy these mechanics, you can find Dragonbane on freeleaguepublishing.com. Build your own Dragonbane character and play a game with friends. Speaking of friends, today we are joined by... Oh, and can you say what you look like and what your stats in Dragonbane are? Today we are joined by Juneau Yarrow Whitespore.
Hello, my name is Juneau. I am a green seer. I'm about 20 years old, so I'm just out of teenagerdom. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm built like a very, what am I trying to say here? A very athletic build. I have pale white hair, green skin, light pink eyes, and I'm usually wearing either natural flower fibers or flowers that are kind of bloomed over in the version of a dress. My stats for Dragonbane, I have a strength of 13, a constitution of 9, an agility 15, intelligence 15, willpower of 8, and charisma of 14.
Yeah, and what are your best 3 skills?
My best 3 skills are evade, brawling, and bows. No, those are weapon skills. Yes.
All right. Muriel Markowith.
Oh, hello. I'm Muriel. I'm a halfling gnome. I'm only about 3.5 feet tall, so I'm pretty short. I've got a weathered tan skin and blue eyes and some white hair, 'cause I'm old as fuck. I'm a mage. I have a strength of 7, a con of 13, agility of 9, intelligence of 14, willpower of 17, and a charisma of 14. I'm real good at elementalism and awareness and bluffing. You'll never see me coming. I don't think that was her voice, but that's what we're going with.
I love the new voice. It's like...
Thank you.
It's very good to imagine Muriel, you know?
Yeah.
Newson 10010.
Hi there. Newson is a sort of person that you might not notice if you went into a room they were in. They'd probably be standing in the corner, not looking you directly in the eye, and they're very nondescript in appearance. They wear ordinary sort of workwear clothes, average height and build, and the hat usually pulled down so that you can't really see their eyes. But if you did go over to them and look a bit closer, you might notice that their skin is translucent and has a waxy sheen. And in fact, they don't have any hair under that hat. And every now and then on their skin, you might see a pale disc. So they look like they are not a human or an elf. They look like they may have been constructed. In Dragonbane, Newson's stats are strength 12, constitution 18, agility 12, intelligence 16, will 11, and charisma 11. And their best skills are evade and healing and swords. But the sword isn't a sword they carry, it's their arm that turns into a sword.
Yeah, very Terminator movie. Yeah. All right. You are all in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild is a large building with a bar, a sitting area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with a corkboard and job flyers posted. Newson, you are holding a copy that you have produced of a letter you saw during the adventure Dust to Dust. Although you have forgotten many things, such as what happened to you before you woke up one day without memories in an alley, you can remember this letter that you saw in the monastery perfectly. It's a letter from Lorella saying she's decided Newson is no longer of use and asking Captain Rowan to get rid of them. The part your thumb keeps tracing over, exploring the texture of the paper and ink, is the part of the letter that has the return address on it. The letter originated from an address close by, in Elysian Fields, an exclusive wealthy enclave of mansions outside of Nicomoy's city walls. How do you feel right now?
Newson is both excited and apprehensive because they've been wanting to regain their memories ever since they woke up in that alley and work out where they came from and what they were created for. And this is the most solid clue that they've had to that experience. But they're a little nervous about going to this place on their own. They don't know what they'll find there. And if this woman, Lorella, might still be there, and it's not clear why she wanted to get rid of Newson. So Newson is trying to build up their courage and determination to actually make that journey to the address on the letter.
Muriel and Juneau, you're in the guild hall too.
Yes, Muriel's probably drinking something, because that's what she does. Just a little tipple, sweetie, it's not a big deal. Yeah, no, she has a giant mug of some kind of alcohol in front of her, which is hilarious because she's only 3.5 feet tall. So she is holding it with both hands and chugging that.
Juneau is messing with a plant that she found on the road on the way into work essentially this morning, trying to see if she can get it to grow anymore, like putting in different types of water, kind of poking at it, not singing to it, but just being like, "You're such a cute little plant. I love you. Please continue to grow. I'm going to add you to my collection."
Did she pluck it? Is it like...
She very carefully tried to dig it up from between two cobblestones. There's like a singular root she managed to get out. She's at her favorite thing, which is botany. All the enthusiasm. Skill.
So Newson's going to look around, having had some very good experiences with other fire-breathing kittens in the past, helping them out or being able to help the others with their quests. Newson's thinking, maybe there's someone here who can help me with my quest. And so they're trying to eye up anyone who doesn't look like they're particularly busy and might be persuaded to join them.
Juneau's going to kind of look around and say, "Hello, would you like to look at my plant?"
"Yes, indeed. I am very interested in learning about plants." "What
Wonderful.
can you tell me?"
"Wonderful. I found it in the cobblestone street on my way into work. And isn't she just so cute?" And it's literally like withering away as you talk. And she goes, "Sometimes plants need a little bit of help. You look like a sad plant. Do you need some help?"
"Well, that is very perceptive of you. Yes, I am in need of help. I need to go and find out where I came from, but I'm not sure I can go on my own. You are a member of the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild. Are you available to help me in my quest?"
"Ooh, of course, as long as you're okay with me collecting specimens as I go along."
"That sounds like a very sensible thing to do, and I'd be most appreciative of your help."
"Wonderful. I am not the best at navigating. Perhaps there's someone else here we can ask." And then she goes over to Muriel, who I'm sure is just having a great morning, and goes, Can you help navigate?"
What'd you say? Oh, sorry, hold on 1 second. She'll turn her hearing aids up. She had them muted. You need Newsom. Do you need help with something?
"Yes, indeed. I have an address that I must visit, but I am apprehensive as to what might happen when I get there, so I'm looking for people who can help me. You look like you have a lot of wisdom and experience, and you might be able to help us get there safely."
I have lived an amount of time I will not disclose. But yes, I mean, are you expecting a fight? She grips her cane that also doubles as a staff.
I hope there will not be any fighting, but I do not know. I think it is the address of where I used to live, but the people there threw me out and wiped my memory, so I am a little apprehensive as to what they might do if I return there.
How dastardly! Yes, we must investigate.
Excellent.
And we should find all the cool plants on our way.
Sure, dearie. Yeah, we can look at some plants, too.
Well, here is the address. Muriel, do you know where this is? Can you find our way there?
Oh, sure. I've lived in Nicomoy my whole life. I can absolutely get you there. Muriel will potentially lead them to the correct area.
Yes, you do. You arrive at the thick Nicomoy city walls, 50 feet high and as many wide, infused with sigils. The impressive earthenwork protects the city. Transversing through Nicomoy's perimeter is like walking inside a tunnel, a dark pipe with light on the other end. You emerge into the bright sunlight. There are houses and businesses here too. Continuing on your journey, you head towards the suburb of Elysian Fields. Outside the walls, the cobbles transition to an unpaved road that wends between huge mansions. It smells like freshly cut grass and sunshine. What was that address again?
Newson gives the paper to Muriel to navigate to.
And Muriel, you read those same numbers on a flat metal address plate affixed to a 15-foot tall metal fence with a gate. The left and right hinges of the gate are fixed to 2 brick columns, thick brick columns. The column on the left has a white square with a red button below it. What do you do? And what do you roll to see if you accomplish it?
No, Muriel's going to press that button.
Okay, and pick a skill to roll. We're going to see how this turns out.
Oh, gosh. What skill do you need to press a button?
Well,
agility, maybe?
You can anticipate what's going to happen when you...
very short, so...
you can press the button. The button presses, not the roll.
Newson is looking around, still a bit nervous and unsure about what's going on. So could I make on his behalf an awareness check to see?
Yeah, awareness. You can gather information about the environment. I'm going to tell you that the button is an intercom, so you could do some kind of like social roll. Maybe Juno's checking for plants.
I was going to say, can Juno roll spot hidden to see if there's any like cool plants happening around?
Absolutely.
Oh, I could do persuasion for whoever answers the intercom to let us in.
Yes, that's a good one.
Juno perceives nothing. She rolled an 18.
Oh, this is a great chance to explain the mechanics of Dragonbane to our listeners. They have a number in a skill. So what was your number, Juno?
12.
So if a 12, 11, 10, 9, etc. had happened, that would have been a success. A 13, 14, 15, 16 to 18 is a failure. So that explains the mechanics.
Excellent. Well, my persuasion is a 12 and I rolled an 11.
That's a success.
Excellent. She shouts into the intercom. Hello? We're here to visit. It's your granny.
And Newson, what was your roll?
My roll was 8, which is under my skill of 14.
So that was an awareness roll?
Yes, awareness.
Okay. In the book, awareness is basically like your ability to not get ambushed. And I'm going to open up the rulebook itself real quick here just to make sure that I am interpreting it properly.
Juno taps Muriel on the shoulder as she's talking to the intercom and goes, "Well, it seems that there are no cool plants here. Poor things. So boring."
Awareness is, as an adventurer, you must always be on your guard or you won't live long. You use your awareness skill to watch or listen for anyone sneaking around nearby, and the opposed roll is sneaking. You can basically not be ambushed by enemies. So I can tell you that there are no enemies sneaking up behind you, and you're very confident in that.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay, so the intercom button gets pressed.
Yes.
Now, because the intercom button got pressed and you passed a social roll, I'm going to say that they do think that you're a granny. So let's see how this flavors the interaction. Okay. So right now, only Muriel's face is up in front of the intercom. The white square fills with the image of a man wearing a light blue and gold guard's uniform. He sees Muriel, and he says, "Oh, hello. What can I help you with today?"
He really only sees like maybe the top chunk, like her eyes and up, because she's on her tippy toes. She says, "Hello, I don't recognize you. Is anybody else home? I'm looking for, what did Lorella? What is her name? I don't remember. I'm looking for my granddaughter."
Now you are a gnome, so I'm gonna have you do a lying
adopted
check.
Granddaughter. What?
Let's see that lying roll.
Lying. Bluffing.
Yeah, let's see.
Is that what you're looking
bluffing.
for?
Oh, you're good at bluffing.
I am good at bluffing. Which is a 13, and I rolled a 6.
Okay, you are her adopted grandmother. Yeah, she's home right now. I'm gonna get her. And the intercom goes a little bit like he steps away, it goes blank for a second, and then now there's two faces in it. There's a woman and this guy, and she's like, "Rowan, what do you?" And she looks at you. No, you're not her grandmother. And she's like, no. "Who? That's not my grandmother, Rowan. Why did you believe her?"
"Oh, Lorella.
Do I know you?"
Yes. You should just let me and I'll explain everything, dearie. It's been so long, you're probably too young to remember me, but I remember you."
As the gate clicks unlocked, because that's what you did, and you guys start walking into this, I assume, right? You're going to walk through the gate?
Yes.
No, we turn around and leave.
We're out.
Muriel's like, "Okay, I got you in the door. All right, bye." No.
But as you pass, you do, the rest of the party is visible to this intercom. And that means that first it's Juneau, the green, what are you, green seeker? Green
seer.
Green seer. Okay, all right. She's brought a friend. And then Newson walks past the intercom. And the man's face startles, then blanches. He reacts like he's seen a ghost. He stutters, freaking out. Newson? His eyes widen. Now you guys are through the gate, of course, at this point. But
It's too
panicking,
late
he
now.
fumbles. He fumbles with something off screen. I thought you were. His voice cracks. I didn't know you were still. The feed cuts. He cuts the feed. The image vanishes, and the gates slam shut behind you a little bit too late. And steel shutters roll up from the ground to cover the gate. So it's 15 feet high, not of see-through gate like wrought iron, but of solid steel. And in the distance, the sound of steel shutters rolling out like garage doors slamming down over windows is unmistakable. The metal gate also now emits a faint humming sound.
Like electricity?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Juneau wants to touch the humming gate. She wants to touch it so bad.
Do you?
Is this an intrusive thought?
Yes, this is an intrusive thought. And she
But
follows
we are
them.
walking away from the gate, though. We're walking away.
Come on, Juneau. No, don't touch that. That'll probably kill you.
Oh, but it sounds so interesting.
Oh, I'm sure, and it'll probably feel interesting for the 2 seconds before it fries your brains out. That's premium grade electricity right there. That'll stop a heart in 5 seconds, less than.
Oh,
And
so
there
I
may be
shouldn't
some
touch-
interesting plants
Yes.
inside the wall. Perhaps we should go and look for those.
Oh, wonderful. And she's just following along.
It doesn't seem like they're keen to see us, though. I am a little apprehensive. I have a feeling they may not want us to go into the main building. But we must press on because we're here now.
Yes, and honestly, that's rude to invited guests. They said come on in, and then they shut the door on us, so, I'm gonna make my way in there.
They must be protecting something very valuable. Perhaps a monster-eating plant.
Perhaps, yes. I don't know where they'd get one of those, but they're probably quite rare.
They're kind of theoretical at this point, but I believe they exist.
Newson, did you recognize that guy on the intercom or that lady?
Yes, I did. I knew them before, but I can't really recall them very clearly. I've only had pieces of my experiences with them come back. I do know that the blonde elf lady is Lorella, and from the note, she was the one who wanted to get rid of me, and the man helped her, but I don't know why. That's what I'm here to find out.
Perhaps you were meant to bloom and grow somewhere else?
Well, probably not in the alleyway that they dumped him in. It's not really a great place to bloom and grow, but good thinking.
There is something to what you say, Juneau. I have learnt a lot since I was left alone in that alley, and I have made many new friends like you and Muriel. So it has been a learning experience for me, and a growth one. But I still want to know where I came from.
What do we see when we look at the house?
Everyone do an awareness check.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not very good at these.
I rolled 10, which is less than my 14, so I succeed.
I rolled a 5, which is less than my awareness, so I succeed.
2, which is less than 6.
Nice. The odds were not good on that one. Okay, so yeah, you all are very aware. No ambushes for this particular. Okay. The mansion stands large and impressive behind its wrought iron gates. You can see it in the distance. It's a building. But between you and there, and there's several buildings, by the way. Between you and there, lush green vines hang from trees overhead, their leaves glossy. The vines move gently, as if in a wind, bristling faintly, with awareness, as if the plants themselves are watching you.
Juneau would like to Tarzan through the vines.
Absolutely. Roll a roll for that.
Acrobatics, which her stat is 12 on that.
Nice.
Roll with boon, which means you roll 2 dice, and you keep the lower, better result.
Ooh, so she rolled a 4, and she rolled a 1, which I believe is a
That's
dragon?
a dragon. Yeah. Okay, so in Dragonbane, when you roll a 1 on the dice, it's sort of like a natural 20 in Dungeons and Dragons. Rolling a dragon on the dice is super good, and I'm going to just double check what that does exactly. Rolling a dragon. You can choose your choice, such as impressing everyone around you, achieving more than intended, or the action is performed faster than usual. What do you pick?
Can she impress everyone by knowing what kind of plant this is and just like babbling plant facts as she's swinging through the trees above them?
Do you have any other suggestions?
Or could she just she's really good at swinging on vines?
You are really good at swinging on vines. The reason why you can't know what the vine is because this vine is, let's go to combat. All right. So as you jump up to reach the vine bristles as if aware. And like the two, have you guys seen that picture of the painting where like one person's reaching a finger and the other person's reaching out to touch them back? The vine reaches out to touch you back. It's amazing. And you needed to grab it with your hand. It wraps around your hand. It's supporting you. It's when you go to swing to the next vine that the problem arises. The first vine likes you too much. It doesn't want to let go. In fact, it really wants to dig. It's got these like hairs on it. It wants to dig those hairs into your skin and drain you. So we're going to roll for initiative. So how initiative works in this game, these are called draining vines. You can collect a sample if you'd like, if you survive. So this is an aerial combat. It's completely vertical. So you are standing and above you are vines. And they're getting like closer. They have movement up and down. Okay. So I have these 10 cards in front of me. I'm going to get 2 cards because they have a ferocity of 2. So those are their 2 cards. And now I'm going to flip 3 cards for you guys. You got a 1 for Juneau. That's cool. You can go first. I got a 5 for Muriel. And I got a 3 for Newson. And the 2 cards that I had flipped for plant 1 and plant 2 are 6 and 9. So they'll be going last. First up is Juneau. The plant will not let go of you. What do you do?
So she is swinging. Does it hurt?
Not yet. No.
Okay, so realizing that the plant's alive, she's super excited. She's like, yes, this is wonderful. And she's going to get her shield out just in case, and like, I guess ready in action, essentially. Like, she wants to parry, but she's going to wait for the plant to attack her first before she parries. Right? Like, that's how that kind of works. Like, her action is parrying, but if the plant attacks her, that's when it'll kick in.
Let me check if parrying can be done against a monster attack.
I don't think it can.
Monster attacks cannot be parried. That's correct.
Oh, okay.
I think you could switch initiative as well, can't you? That's one of the things you can. If you want to go later, you can switch initiative card with someone else, like the plant.
Yes, you can do the wait in the initiative. So waiting. Let me check that. So that's on page 41. Rounds and initiative waiting. On your turn, you can choose to wait. This means you swap initiative cards and therefore places in the turn order with another creature whose turn comes after yours. You can swap cards with player characters as well as NPCs. However, you cannot swap initiative cards with anyone who has already had their turn. And then, in case you decide, blah, 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 monsters themselves never choose to wait, but I think you can swap with them.
Okay, so the monster is right after me, though, right? One of them? Because they got a 1.
Juneau, Newson, Muriel, plant.
Okay, she's gonna go after the first plant.
Okay.
She wants to swap.
So you're swapping with the first plant or the second one?
The first one.
Okay, yes, I think you can do that with the rule book. So I am now, the turn order is plant, Newson, Muriel, Juneau, plant. So it's the plant's turn. Okay, the plant, I roll a d6 to see which of these actions it does. I got a 2, so... Swirling horror. The vines swarm around their victims at a frantic pace. Everyone within 10 meters suffers a fear attack. Fear attack. When struck by a fear attack, you must immediately make a roll against your will. The roll can be pushed and does not count as an action. Particularly frightening events can give you a bane on the roll. If the will roll fails, you must roll on the fear table on page 53. Everyone, please make a will saving roll. You're afraid of these vines. There's a lot of them. Oh my gosh. Where'd they come
Muriel
from?
has the fearless ability where she automatically resists fear without a willpower roll and spends 2 will points.
Nice.
Yes.
You've seen it all.
She's seen it all. She's also probably drunk. So she's like, are those moving or is that my eyesight? I can't tell.
I rolled a 7 for Newson, which is less than his will of 11.
Juneau rolled a 6, which is less than her will of 8.
Because you both rolled lower than your number, you pass. You don't have to roll on the fear table. That was the first turn, but these are definitely scary vines. So, it's clear that these are not friendly.
So I believe it's Newson next. So they're going to form their arm into a sword and try to slash the vine to release Juneau from it. So I will make a roll against my sword skill, which is 15. I rolled a 6.
You hit.
And my sword does D10 damage, and it can be piercing or slashing. So I guess in this case I'm going for slashing, and that's 5 damage.
5 damage. I have noted the reduction in HP. Can you describe what it looks like?
So I think there were lots of these vines, weren't there, swarming around her. So I think Newson's just slashing back and forth and cutting away, a vine here, a vine there, and another vine. But there are still many more swirling around them. So they haven't cut them all down yet.
Indeed, and these are the swarm mechanics. So when you reduce the hit points, it's like reducing the number of vines. Very effective. All damage from physical weapons, even magical ones, are reduced by half rounded up. So let me just actually read my monster stats. Okay, so you actually did 3 damage. You feel like the vines are very resistant to a sword.
Newson doesn't think they're going to be able to persuade the vines to stop attacking, so their sword is about all they've got to persuade.
Next up is Muriel.
All right. Muriel doesn't like these vines attacking her friend. So she's going to cast Fireball, which is very different from the D&D Fireball. Okay, I'm not exploding the room. Fireball is a rank 1 spell. And they can dodge or parry it, otherwise it attacks. 2d6 damage. Are they parrying?
I don't think they would, because they're like... I don't think they've ever been fireballed in their life, you know?
Excellent. It also sets fire to flammable objects, so...
Oh, like the grass around you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it depends how sappy it is, I guess.
Right.
Yes.
How
can
wet
you do
are we
a quick
talking?
D20 roll to see how wet the ground is?
Sure. That
One
is
is better.
that is
20
a
is-
natural 20.
Oh, it's very dry here. Like, very, very dry. It says when you roll a... Let me see. Rolling a demon. Rolling a demon. When you roll a demon, you can choose to damage yourself or someone else, make a fool of yourself, or make a lot of noise. So on that sort of scale of things, can you describe how dry it is?
Oh, bone dry. Like, never seen water before in its life. These plants have been dead for It's because the vines have been sapping all of the energy out of the other plants around here. So it's dead. Desert dead.
The trees are just skeletons of wood, and the moment you fireball, the vines are fine, but the trees and the grass underneath burst into flames.
Oh, so I don't do any damage to the...
You keep going. This in addition to...
In addition... Oh, okay. Well, I rolled 2 6s on my 2d6, so that's 12 fire damage.
Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you know how the sword was like, The fire's great.
She gets like a maniacal look in her eyes, and she's like, yes, burn.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
Juneau, you're up.
Isn't the plant before me though? Oh no, I swapped with it.
You swap with it.
Okay. Everything's on fire. Would you say that the vine counts as a shackle?
I mean, after it attacks you, yes, because it will have put its root thingies into your skin. But until then, no.
Oh, so it grabbing me is not an attack. Okay. Never mind.
It's about to
then.
attack you.
I won't.
It's definitely scary. You can tell it's going to attack you. But once it attacks you, how it does that, it is going to like force its way into your skin. Then it'll be a shackle.
Okay. She is going to bash it with her shield. I don't have a bludgeoning. That's what it is. Okay. There's not a shield skill, right? Like, I'm not blind.
Yeah, the shield's not an offensive weapon. Yeah.
Brawling? Would this fall under brawling then for a roll?
Yeah.
Okay. She just wants to hit it with her shield to get it to let her go. Okay. She rolled a 4, which is below her 17 brawling. For 4 points of damage. That feels low.
Okay. So you feel like you actually did 2, because it's very strong, these vines, and they're very resistant to physical weapons, even magical ones. So these vines are still up, and I'm just, before they attack you, literally sucking into your skin. I'll just say they're at 1 hit point, you guys. So close, very close. But anyway, it's the vine's turn. I'm going to roll a 6, see what happens. Got a 6. Mass attack. The vines split up to attack all characters within 10 meters, which is 30 feet. That's all of you. Each victim suffers a d8 slashing damage, and the vines heal the same amount of HP from drinking their victim's blood. So dropping down on you from above is like a very heavy, like ropey plant. And when it hits you, the vines, like, have you ever been scratched by a rough rope? It's not smooth on your skin. It doesn't feel good. And then it like digs in and drinks your blood. So I'm going to roll a d8 for each of you. We're going to go in turn order. So Newson, you got a 3 damage. Muriel, you got 8 damage. And Juneau, you got 1 damage.
Oh, that hurt real bad.
And that was 3, 8, and 1. So that's 12. So they healed 12. They're almost back to full.
Well, Newson has their thick skin, which is like armor. So that they've got 2 points of armor. So that 3 is actually only 1.
All right. They only heal 10. So they're at 11 hit points.
Are you able to dodge an attack?
Yes, but it takes your action.
Okay.
Our con is our hit points.
On your
Right.
character sheet, and I've got yours pulled up, your character sheet has...
Oh, no, there it is. Bottom right corner. Okay.
Bottom right corner, you have 9 hit points, Juno. Because you have 9 con. Exactly, yes.
Learning where all the things are on this sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to reshuffle these cards. We've got 10 cards. At the beginning of every round, we reshuffle. And now it is, in this order, Plant 7, Newson 10, Muriel 1, Juneau 3, Plant 5. So I'll put those in order. 1, 3. I have a physical deck of cards in front of me, which is really helping. I've got a little piece of paper for each person's name, and so I've got the card and the paper underneath it. So it's Muriel, Juneau, Plant, Newson. Muriel, it's your turn.
Muriel really didn't like being hurt. She only has 5 hit points left, so she's gonna cast a really high level spell. She hates these vines. She's gonna cast Firebird. Sends a terrifying bird of fire from my hand, and it inflicts...
and you're rolling for elementalism first, right?
Oh, I am not. I did not do that the first time.
Yeah, I forgot too.
Okay.
So
Me too. All right, so rolling a d20 for that. That is a 14, and my elementalism is a 15.
you pass.
Yeah,
And you're
pass.
spending will points to cast this spell, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to explain that to the listener?
Sure. The base level spells, or each spell costs will points to cast. The very low, like cantrip style spells only cost 2 or 1. And then going up in rank, it costs 2 per rank. So a rank 1 costs 2 points, a rank 2 costs 4 points, and a rank 3 costs 6 points.
Yeah. So a Firebird is rank 3. So this
3.
costs 6 will points.
Indeed. But she really hates these suckers.
I think it's a good idea to burn them. Just because if they keep sucking our blood, we're never going to get rid of them.
And how many will points do you have left?
Oh, left after casting this, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 9.
Good. All right. Go ahead and read Firebird.
Firebird, this spell sends a terrifying bird of fire from your hand or focus at the target. The attack can be dodged or parried as a ranged attack, and it inflicts 2d10 damage on a hit and sets fire to flammable objects.
Each
power level beyond the first increases the damage by d10 or creates another Firebird that hits another target in range.
And
So
you cast it
that's
at rank.
Rank 3, which is not above the first power level,
I think the first power level is...
is a rank 1.
Yeah, and you're at rank 3.
But you
But you would have to cast it. So what it's saying is that the base damage is 2d10 per rank, and you cast it at rank 3 at least. But you can cast it at additional rank 4 or 5. I don't know. That's how I would interpret it.
Okay. That makes sense. No, she's not going any higher. She's going for a rank 3.
So that
I
means
only
it
have
deals
so many willpower points.
2d10 times 3.
Does
so you
it?
can roll 2d10 3 times.
Oh, that's very confusing.
Yes, it's
okay.
not. If we're wrong, listeners, we apologize. But that's how I'm going to interpret that. And you cast it at rank 3. Each rank beyond the first increases it by another 2d10. So
Yeah, it just isn't. Would rank 3 be the first level? Sounds like it's me. But we will play it the way we're going to play.
because, like, when you only have so many willpower points left, you can't cast a Firebird. You're like, that's a high-level spell, you know?
Mhm.
Because willpower points are an expendable resource. You're going to run out of them.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
like a Firebird takes a lot. It does a lot of damage,
Yeah.
and you can do even more, but at least this much.
So 6d10.
Yeah, roll 2d10 and tell me 3 numbers. So like 3 times and tell me 3, and then the total. Yeah. 6d10.
Yeah. 29.
Holy cow. They had 11 hit points, so please describe this scene.
it's a huge blast of fire. I mean, it's a beautiful firebird, full on phoenix. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Muriel's like, you hit me. I don't appreciate that. Bird, attack. And then the bird just swoops through, and its beautiful wings set everything on fire, including all of the dead trees. And it all just immediately crumbles to ash. It's beautiful. Sorry if you wanted plant clippings, but those suckers had to go.
I definitely agree with that. I think the result is that there are no plant clippings, and perhaps there is a somewhat uncontained fire.
It might have turned into a wildfire. It's no big deal.
Yeah, there's a wildfire now. You guys, how do you react? So the combat is over. Yay!
Yay!
There is a wildfire, and it currently is at your location. It may spread. So what are you going to do? Let it spread or contain it? This will affect the amount of plants Juneau can gather for the rest of the session.
Juneau would like to find water, and she's like, kind of like, being like, it would have been fine. I wasn't dead yet. Why? We've got to find water. We've got to put this out. You are going to kill all the plants.
Do a roll to see if you find water.
I'm trying to figure. It wouldn't be hunting and fishing. It would be bushcraft, maybe?
Yeah, let me check that rule book to see what bushcraft is described as. Bushcraft. The vast wilderness is a dangerous place where wild beasts roam. You can roll bushcraft to lead your way through the wilderness, make camp, cook food, stay warm in cold weather, etc. Finding the right path through the woods is bushcraft. Yes.
So fine. Okay. She rolled a 10, which is going to be less than her 12 of bushcraft.
You use your knowledge of the woods to find the closest water. Success. This is a multi-success requiring challenge. Now you've found water, what do you do to stop the wildfire?
What kind of water is it?
Ooh,
is it like a this is a rich person's house. She finds a really fancy well, and she kind of waves over to everybody else and goes, Muriel, Newson, do you have some way to get water out of the well to get the fire and put it out? Especially you, Muriel, considering you started it and you're going to kill all the wonderful plants.
I saved your life. You should be grateful.
You're killing plants. My life is not that important.
They were evil plants.
I don't know. She's taking a tipple from her flask. She is unconcerned with this fire. It'll die out.
Newson, please help.
I certainly would like to help you. I don't have a bucket. Is there not one in the well, perhaps? Have you looked inside?
Newson, you want to investigate the well?
Yep. Newson will go over and peer into the well to see if there's anything in there.
And depending on what you roll is the water disbursement system you find.
Which I'm trying to roll. So I rolled a 12, which I was imagining I was rolling below my spot hidden, which is 14.
Yeah, you spot. You can describe what you spot. I'm imagining an effective irrigation system.
Newson thinks that they spot a large bucket in the well, and in fact there's one floating in the water, but they also spot that there's a stack of like 3 other buckets nearby, and so Newson says, "Yes, here, look," and lifts the bucket full of water out and points to the others and says, "There are more there," and then takes the bucket of water over to where the flames are licking up the bone-dry plants and starts to throw a bucket load onto it. "Perhaps we can form a chain. Pass the buckets down."
Muriel, will you come help us with our bucket brigade?
Yeah, fine. I'm just saying, it'll eat everything around here, and then maybe it'll burn the house down, and they'll have to come out, and then you'll be able to face them. I'm just saying, this could be a boon.
It is true. If it was going towards the house, that might get them to lower their shutters.
Yes.
Or
Mira starts shouting, "Fire! Fire!"
But we don't want to kill all the plants here.
Oh,
That is what's at stake here, really.
We've killed the evil plants. I agree with that. But these other plants are not attacking us.
And they're innocent, and also they need to be catalogued. And also, what kind of grandmother are you?
yeah. I'm actually not anyways, we don't have to talk about that part. She gets sad.
Your kid has to have kids for you to be a grandma.
Yeah, my kid does not have a kid. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I'll help you with the damn water, all right? She takes the bucket and starts chucking it at the wall. She has spells that she could cast that would probably get rid of the fire. She's not casting them. She will do this water thing, but she's not spending the willpower points.
All right, make a roll to see how effective you are. Does the fire go out in this bucket brigade?
What should we do? Bushcraft?
So there's a lot of there's 30 different skills.
Right.
You can really pick whichever one you want that you, like, you're going to describe your action.
Muriel has a lot of experience in cooking. So I assume she knows how to smother a fire real well. So I would use bushcraft to do that.
Yeah.
I also get a boon on bushcraft rolls for cooking. Does this count?
If a food results from what you are about to roleplay, then yes, cooking counts.
What kind of trees were they? Was there any, like, nuts
Are there
on
any
the trees?
vegetables around? Did they turn into slightly cooked vegetables?
I'm going to give you a yes on all of the scenario stuff. Like, whatever trees and plants you want to have roasting in this fire right now. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then roll and we'll see if it's effective at producing the result that you want.
Let's see. I rolled a 20. A D20. Let's see. I rolled a 3 and my bushcraft is a 13.
Yeah. So describe what you not only bucket brigade successfully, but you produce a food.
I've roasted Brussels sprouts. They're delicious. They already taste like dirt, so it's okay that there's still a little dirt on them.
They're delicious and they taste like dirt.
Yes, exactly.
Perhaps
some
we...
fire roasted tomatoes, guys. Look at those. Yes, that's quite delicious. Here you are. Eat up.
The fire is out and you have roasted tomatoes and Brussels sprouts.
Honestly, this was the best result possible. Can't blame me.
I'm not sure now is the time for a meal, Muriel, but your actions are appreciated.
She's stuffing the tomatoes in her mouth. Do I heal at all?
Would you like to rest?
Oh, I would love to rest. I have 5 hit points left.
Yeah. So you guys know the mechanics for resting. There's a round rest, there's a 15-minute rest, and there's a 6-hour rest. If you round rest, you get back... Let me look up the resting rules exactly. If you round rest, you get a D6 of willpower points, but no hit points. If you stretch rest, which is 15 minutes, you get 1d6 of hit points on your own, or 2d6 if someone succeeds on a healing roll to heal you, as well as you'll always get a d6 of willpower points and recovering from one condition.
Can I try healing Muriel before we do a rest?
So the healing actually will take up your rest. So if you heal someone else, you won't yourself recover hit points. It's sort of like you get their d6 if they're successful.
Newson is going to do that to the most wounded person because Newson's only lost 1 hit point. So they don't need to heal. So Newson will get their bandages out and start tending to whoever is the most wounded, which I think is Muriel.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's Muriel.
But Newson's also going to suggest that before that we rest, we move a little way away from where the flames have been burning.
Yes, Newson, you see a graveyard.
Looking. Yes.
You see a nice quiet graveyard right over there.
So Newson points that out.
Oh, a graveyard. That sounds like a lovely place to rest.
It will be quiet at least, and we may be obscured from the vision of anyone looking to see who caused this conflagration.
And as you're resting in the graveyard, please do your healing rolls. So Newson, because you have bandages, you don't have to roll with Bane, so that's great. You can roll normally to do a healing.
So I rolled a 3 and my healing skill is 15.
Success. Muriel, please gain 2d6 because of the successful healing roll.
Oh, excellent. I healed all the way back up.
Same. While we're healing, can Juneau... would you say she's at a crossroads of some kind? I would like to try to use Treasure Hunter to learn the direction of the greatest treasures, but to her, it's whatever the coolest plant on the property is and what direction it is.
You want to treasure hunt in a graveyard?
Yes. For cool dead plants.
Okay. All right. Yes, you can roll for treasure hunting in the graveyard. And Muriel, you recovered a d6 of willpower points as well. And everyone recovered one condition. If nobody had a condition. If you ever want to push a roll, you'll gain a condition to push. That lets you re-roll the roll. But then you have disadvantage at the stat that you took the condition in. So like when you guys made a fear check against willpower, if you'd had a condition in that, your willpower would have been at Bane, rolling twice and taking the worst higher number. But pushing lets you try again to hit, so it's useful. Okay, so everybody, you've got one willpower, d6. At least you got your hit points and you got your conditions. All right, roll for that crossroad.
Okay, so she has Treasure Hunter. So at a crossroads of some kind, you can activate this ability to learn the direction of the greatest treasures. And she has to spend 3 willpower points. So do I still need to roll for that?
You're spending 3 willpower points. Okay. How many willpower points do you have left?
5.
All right. You successfully know that there is a greenhouse. You can see it from here. You have to go through the graveyard to get there.
Well, at some point before we leave today, because they obviously are not very good at caring for their plants, considering we just almost burned them all down. There's a greenhouse in that direction. I would love to tour.
Would it be reasonable to say that Juneau looked around for the greenhouse before we rested, and therefore she could regain a d6 of willpower points from the resting?
I'm going to roll dice. If it's a 10 or below, then I'll say yes. And if it's above a 10, it's a 7. Yeah. No, it's a 17. These dice are hard to look at. No.
Fair enough.
All right. So you guys are healed. The graves. All right. The grass underfoot is damp and cool. So the vines really were the source of that drought on those trees. They were sucking the life out of everything. The grass underfoot is damp and cool as you approach 2 gravestones on your way to the greenhouse. So you're heading to the greenhouse. Both of these gravestones are cut from smooth gray stone, and they're set beneath the shade of a tree. One gravestone reads, Clark Miss Derry, 49572 to 49601. It is decorated with a pale blue glass inlay and reads, quote, a noble sacrifice. The other gravestone reads, Newson 10010, and the years 49573 to 49601, and bears the same light blue with bands of polished gold and the inscription, His heart will live on.
Newson comes to a stop before the gravestones with a puzzled expression on their face. This is my name, and that would suggest that this is my grave, but I'm not in the grave, I'm here.
Oh, well then what's in the grave?
I do not know. I am almost afraid to find out, but perhaps we should.
Do you not have a heart, since it says your heart will live on?
I believe I have a heart of a kind, perhaps not the same as your heart, but there is something inside me that gives me life.
Do we need to dig up your grave? I don't think we'd find anything, considering you're here. And she kind of points, and she's longingly looking at the greenhouse, but she's like, must be a good friend first.
Well, but perhaps we need a shovel, and there might be a shovel in the greenhouse.
That is true. I do not have a shovel with me.
Oh, I suppose. Are there any... There wouldn't be, a dog in the graveyard? Or, a bear or a badger?
Should I say yes to this just to see what's about? You know what? There's a stray dog. No, there's a stray badger. We're going with badger.
Can a badger be stray?
Yeah, there's a hole in the ground. There's a hole in the ground, and you suspect there may be a badger inside that hole.
I think these are animals that are good at digging, right? But I'm not sure how you're going to persuade the badger to dig up the grave.
Juneau has a skill that is called Companion. And it says, you can activate this ability to turn an animal, not a monster, into your companion. This takes a stretch of time, and you can only have one animal companion at a time. The GM decides what animals are nearby. The animal follows you as long as you remain in its natural environment. It can scout for you at no additional WP cost, willpower. For 3 additional WP, you can command the animal to attack an enemy. She would like to convince the badger to be her friend and then convince it to dig.
Yes. Muriel, can you roleplay as the badger? And Juneau, can you please convince this badger to be your friend?
Let me get into badger mindset. All right, let's go for it.
She walks over to the hole and just kind of gently taps the ground. It goes, hello, Mr. Badger friend. You are very good at digging. Perhaps I could offer you, and she holds out one of her rations, a snack. And if the badger follows her, she's going to go quickly try to push the snack into the ground to encourage it to dig.
You see a little black nose that snuffles out of the hole and sniff, 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 sniff. And you what is that? It smells delicious. What do you want?
I would really appreciate it if you could help me dig up this grave. I don't believe there's a body there, so it's really just, perhaps it could just be another home for you as well, like a second summer home.
Will there be more snacks?
I have 4 rations with me. I can give you 2 of them.
Take them all. Okay. I don't know where that voice went, but the fat badger will waddle out of his hole and gobble up your ration that you handed him first, and then go help dig up a grave.
Newson is there showing what they want to do by digging with their sort of shovel-like hands to also further encourage the badger to join in.
And we're digging up a grave. You find a box. It's a person-sized box.
Does somebody have some way to open this? And thank you, Mr. Badger friend. And she hands him the other ration.
You're welcome. He waddles off.
Well, Newson has blacksmithing tools, which they use for repairing themselves and their gear. So they've got some small tools which they can use to prise the lid open if it's necessary and doesn't just come off when they try to lift it.
Yes, please use your tools.
Newson's crafting is only 10, and unfortunately I rolled a 14.
Man, it's really hard to pry this open. What are you going to do?
I could fireball it again.
Of course you could. Does it look like that there's big nails or little nails? Is this a well-constructed box?
It is a well-constructed box. A lot of love was felt for, there's different levels of box you can put your dead friends and family into. This is one of the nicer ones.
Okay, so I probably couldn't pop it open with a knife.
Didn't realize coffins were so well sealed.
They have to keep many 100 pounds of soil off from collapsing the box, yeah.
Muriel is drinking heavier now that she is facing her mortality.
Newson's going to examine the box to see if there's a weak point where they might be able to prise it open more easily.
Yeah, what do you roll?
I'm going to try spot hidden.
Yeah.
So Newson rolled a 10, which is below their spot hidden of 14.
Yes. You see a handle now that you're looking really closely. So this will let you roll your blacksmithing tools, or just you can open the handle. can either have another shot. Oh, and by the way, you guys, you can always push rolls. Anyway,
That's true.
Nobody's done that yet. Yeah.
Is there an assist action? There's an assist action of some kind. I would like to assist Newsom with my strength.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Help, maybe?
Helping an ally. You can spend your action to give an ally a boon on their roll in the same round. A boon means they roll 2 d20s and keep the lower, better result.
Okay, so I'm going to have another go with Juno's help.
Yeah.
Juno, pull on the handle while I use my tools to try to prise it open. So
wonderful.
I rolled a 14 and a 9. So 9 is the better roll, and that is just one under my blacksmithing skill. Well, my craft skill.
Describe very barely wedging this huge door basically open the lid.
So I think Juno's pulling on the handle and Newson is there putting little metal, tapping in little metal, what are they called? I keep wanting to say splinter, but that's not right. You'll have to work out what the word I mean is yourself. Tapping little metal things under it, and gradually pulling it up, and pulling it up, and then pushing, and then suddenly Juno goes flying backwards, yanking on the handle as the lid comes off.
The coffin is open. First off, there's no smell. Like, you know how if you opened a coffin of like a human or an elf or a gnome or a green seer, you would have a smell? There's no smell. You find doll-like limbs. Their surface pale and their edges brittle. You can see the broken bits where they're brittle flaked off. And they're covered in fine puncture marks that trail up the arms and legs like in... You've ever seen a vine attached to a tree? Juno, it's that same pattern. These marks trail up the arms and legs in root vein patterns. And also, it is very obvious that this torso is lacking a heart.
Like, so it's doll parts. Is it missing? I would like to spot hidden. Sure, spot hidden and see if she can tell. So Juno wants to look at the little like vine marks closer, but she also wants to look to see if she can tell if these doll parts, like if the heart is mechanical or if it was
no, there's no heart. It's like, you ever seen a chest burster in the Alien movie? Like,
yes.
There's no heart. Like, it's
but
very on the ribcage. And Newson, these are your doll parts.
Mm.
So they buried your body and they took your heart and put it into a new body?
It looks like perhaps he got caught up in the vines that I also got caught up in. Do you see this patterning here? It looks like the vines grabbed him.
A little bit different. Not the same size, not the same... Like, you can tell that these people love them some vines, but it's not,
Quite the same.
Yeah, it's sort of like how you're very good at telling the difference between plants because of their size and shape, and like, you know how on a stalk, like maybe the leaves are on the same side of the stalk or the leaves are like alternating or spiraling. The spiral pattern is different for this. This is not the same vine. You look at your arm where some blood got sucked out. Not the same.
So this is different. It wasn't the same vine then.
Correct, but a vine nonetheless. I wonder if these people breed their vines selectively, if they've made their own kind of species. It's very interesting. I would very much so like to talk to them.
As would I.
Go ahead and do some kind of skill check to examine the marks, Juno.
And this other guy died on the same day that you died. Is that right?
Yes, that's the same year.
Oh. Is it the same day?
To be clearer, that is this year.
Oh.
49601, the current year of our Lord.
Yes.
Spot hidden will be what
Yeah.
Juno's rolling.
Yeah.
And she rolled an 11, which is less than her 12.
Okay. Tell me how you're investigating these vein-like patterns.
Juno, like, holds up her arm and grabs a doll arm and holds it up next to her arm. And she's just kind of going back and forth and, like, adjusting it to see if it ever matches up, which it doesn't because it's different. And just, like, very closely holding this body part and her arm close to her face.
I like the demonstration, yes. As you peer closer, your eyes get closer. You can see that there's a indentation in your arm. And there's no indentation in this arm as if it had been drawn on.
She's going to rub at it to see if it goes away.
Mm-hmm. It does. It smears like ink.
The body is a lie. Lying bodies, no cool vines. This is very disappointing. Someone has committed plant fraud. Murder fraud? I'm not quite sure. Plant fraud. Fraudulently has made it look like there's a plant that killed this body, which obviously is a fraudulent body because you're standing right here and it has your name on it. This is all just a bunch of lies. That greenhouse is probably not even a greenhouse. It's probably like a restaurant or something.
So
You
you
seem very
think they were
upset by
trying to
this.
you think they were trying to put the blame on the plants for the death of this body?
Perhaps,
that would make sense.
Or just like trick someone into thinking that you died when you're not actually dead because it's fake. She taps the doll thing on the side of the coffin. Like it's very, very fake.
Well, this is somewhat unnerving, but I think we need to get to the bottom of this, and we won't find our answers here. I think we need to keep going and see if we can get into the house. Maybe we should investigate the greenhouse first, though.
Or maybe we should dig up the other body and see what's going on with that one.
I'm not inclined to dig up bodies that have been correctly buried.
We don't know. Maybe there's treasure in there. Maybe there's nothing in there. You don't know.
That is true. I suspect the most likely thing we find in a grave is a body, though.
But we did find what I'm saying is we didn't find a body in this one, so the likelihood that we'll find a body in the other one is lower, technically.
There is some logic to what you are saying.
Where'd that badger go? Badger?
However, this grave had my name on it, and we can see that I am not dead, and therefore I'm not in the grave, which is what led us to dig it up. This Clark, Mr. A, presumably is actually dead.
All right, well, we'll hold that on our back pocket in case we get further down this adventure and decide we need to, come back and
We can
and dig him
always
up.
return here and dig up the grave later.
That's true. This is fair.
Perhaps, Mr. Badger, I'm sorry to disturb your slumber again. Here's another ration. I really hope we don't need these later, y'all. She's gonna starve.
I made fire roasted vegetables.
I've got plenty of rations as well.
Okay. Could you tell me if you saw someone burying a body correctly in this grave and not a body full of plant lies?
Do you think the badger understands the concepts of plant lice?
What does the badger say?
You're the badger.
This is my winter home. This is my winter home. I don't know. I'm not quite here all year round. I wasn't here when they buried him.
Well,
but I'll take the rest of that food.
Well, I mean, if needed, I have one more ration, so if we decide to come back, I can convince my new badger friend to help us.
Badger sounded exactly like Muriel, I'm realizing now. So maybe it was Muriel making the sounds for the badger the whole time out of the corner of her mouth. Yep.
But if the badger's your companion, isn't it going to go with us? Isn't it going to follow us around now?
That's true. Yes. But it is Muriel imitating its voice. It's not actually talking.
Yes, the badger will. So mechanically, listeners, if you're wondering, he will follow me as long as we remain in its natural environment, which I'm guessing is this garden.
Yeah, the grounds.
This estate. Okay. So now we have a badger following us.
Mm-hmm. To where are you going?
The greenhouse, I guess, right?
Well, that's where we were heading, where we were stopped by these graves. So I agree. Heading to the greenhouse.
You have encountered a glass greenhouse building. It is very large, like way larger than a 6x10 in the backyard. This is like a factory-sized building greenhouse.
Is there an obvious door or way in?
Yes. There is a very long wall of A-frame glass greenhouse with doors in it, and it stretches back very far. So there's like a front door, basically, and you can go around back, basically.
Juneau is skipping and going to the door and just like walking her happy butt in. She's very excited at the prospect of plants.
Do you try the front door?
Yes.
It is unlocked. All right, I'm going to describe the greenhouse. You pull open the door and you step inside. Beneath an industrial-sized glass A-frame greenhouse roof stretches many empty rows of planting beds. And if you guys have never been in a greenhouse, I'm just going to stop the reading description and just describe it to you guys. It's like a concrete floor, and then they can put planter buckets or lines on the concrete floor. Row after row of empty, abandoned, mass production style soil garden beds with tall trellis supports you can't see through and can't see what's in all the aisles stretch out. So imagine how you can't see through a grocery store because of all the shelves. That's like how you can't see through this greenhouse because of the trellising in the garden beds. But you can see in the back corner of 2 of the glass walls, because there's more space between the glass wall and the soil boxes than there are between the soil boxes. So you can see in the back corner of 2 of the glass walls, there's an exit. And you can see through the glass of the greenhouse wall that exit leads to a path to a nearby groundskeeper's cottage, well maintained and made cozy with potted flower window boxes.
So there's no plants in the greenhouse, is what I'm hearing. They're all empty.
You can't see the entire greenhouse until it's sort of like a grocery store. You can see that this first aisle is pretty empty.
Okay. Juneau kind of bounces on the balls of her feet and then just takes off at a sprint. She wants to look at everything.
Oh, don't get too far, dearie. Might be more deadly plants.
I have if they split up and if they stay together on my possible scenario path. I'm going to go with if they split up.
She calls out behind her to Muriel after Muriel says that. It'll be fine. The plants haven't killed me yet. I'm still here.
Muriel will turn to Newsom and be like, they're going to eat her alive.
Perhaps we should follow her then.
All right, but I don't move as fast as that, so
she's hobbling
no,
on
but
her
we must
walker.
keep her in sight at least. So Newson is going to go and try to keep their eye on Juneau as she skips merrily through the greenhouse, looking for plants.
Everybody make an awareness check.
I'm realizing now I probably should have made Juneau more aware because she's not at all.
Muriel rolled a nat 20.
Oh, that's great in D&D, but not great in Dragonbane.
Not great here. Yep.
I actually have to give this list of things for you to pick from.
Great.
Here's your list of things. You mentioned, I think I know which one you're going to go with. Yeah. So you mentioned that you are kind of slower. You can either damage yourself, someone else, or an item, or make a fool of yourself in front of everyone around you, or make a lot of noise.
Oh,
or something else similar to that.
She's probably making a lot of noise. She didn't put the tennis balls on the bottom of her walker, so it's scraping along the floor. She's shuffling a little faster than usual, so she's like, hold on. Yep. Her orthopedic shoes are squeaking. Yeah. On this concrete floor.
Are gnome, because she's a gnome, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
are gnome orthopedic shoes just like light up Skechers for children because their feet are so small?
They're like, they made like a Dr. Scholl's version light up shoes. She wears them because she likes them, not because they. Anyways, yes.
Are the lights in little flames along the side?
Oh yeah, it's like racing stripes, like little. Yep, it's adorable.
I rolled a 12 for Newson, which is under their awareness of 14.
Okay. So, and Juneau, did you pass or fail?
So she rolled a 6 and her score is a 6. Is it meet to beat?
Yes, you pass.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone but Muriel passed. Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Muriel critically failed. Okay.
Yes.
And you guys are split up a little bit. I'm going to say that there's 3 meters between Newson and Muriel and 10 meters between Juneau and Newson. And I'm drawing like a combat map.
Also, just so you all know, I, the player, will not be upset if she gets child leashed. I expected it when I made this character. I'm like, someone's going to put a leash on her.
All right, I've got the distances written down on this battle map. Bursts of spore clouds erupt from a 2-foot-tall animated red fungi spotted with white that emerges from aisle 1. So picture on your left, there, I'm going to call that aisle 1. It's not. There's plenty of aisles on your left and right. But, like, that's to make, like, a map for you guys. There's long lines, and they're parallel. So there's bursts of spores from a red and white classic Alice in Wonderland spotted animated mushroom coming from there. Simultaneously, a faint green glow flickers as something unseen hurls toxic spores from way off down the aisle you're all in, aisle 2. And from the gaps in between the trellis, because the trellis is sort of like a diamond gap trellis wood, you know. From the gaps in between the trellis to the aisle on the right, aisle 3, a thick purple choking spray fills the air with a sickly haze, and that mostly is affecting Muriel. It's kind of behind you. Everyone, I will draw for initiative as we go to a break. So we'll start after the break with mushroom spore attacks. Joining us for part 1 were Newson.
Hello. See you soon.
Muriel.
This is going to end well.
And Juneau.
There's mushrooms, everyone. It's exciting. So I'm looking for reviews and oh no, we have none. So perhaps you, dear listener, could be someone who writes a review, hits the little publish button, and then we'll read it on air. And we'll read it with a fun voice, either mine, Muriel's, whoever's is existing at the time, or maybe a new voice, a secret voice. But we need you to write a review in order for us to do that. So get those fingers, typing away, especially if you enjoyed our episode.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Today's mid-episode shoutout is, quote, "Thanks to the unsung hero, Ingrid. Your hard work behind the scenes keeps our city running smoothly, and it doesn't go unnoticed." End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shoutout at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. Did you know we have paperback, ebook, hardcover, and audiobook adaptations of our adventures on Amazon and Audible? Is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Telling them about it would help us. Thank you.
Welcome back to Fire Breathing Kittens, a Dragonbane actual play podcast. For this episode, we play a different tabletop role-playing game every episode. We are joined again by Muriel.
This is going great.
Newson.
Greetings. I am keen to find out what will happen.
And Juneau.
I'm very excited to see what kind of plants I'm going to find.
And because we don't expect you guys to pay attention for all of part 1, you know, maybe you're listening to this as you fall asleep. Maybe you're drinking. Maybe you're driving and you zoned out a bit. Don't do that. Wake up. Hands on the wheel. All right. So,
hopefully you're not drinking and driving. That's illegal.
Definitely don't do both. Anyway, whatever is happening with you, we're going to recap part 1 for you.
Awesome. So essentially, Newson, very sad, doesn't know his past, has a letter that's like, get rid of Newson. So we're going to the place of the letter that said, get rid of Newson. And we showed up and they saw us and they're like, you're not my grandma, but we're going to let you in inside anyways. And then we're going to try to murder you. And essentially what is kind of a Hunger Games arena, a little bit. And there's a lot of plants that are trying to kill Juneau all the time. And we found Newson's not body, but also his body? ? We don't know yet. We've made a badger friend, and Muriel is a bit of a pyro.
Excellent recap. And right now you guys are in a greenhouse. This greenhouse is industrial sized, like a Walmart. Can I say that? Yeah, it's a big building made out of glass, and it has aisles in it, not stocked with shelves with groceries, but instead trellises for plants to grow up. But right now, the plant beds are empty and only have soil as far as you've seen. Although it's very large and there are other aisles. So you wanted to explore the other aisles, and we've got you slightly separated. I got a battle map here. So my battle map looks like this. It's like long lines, like up and down, like parallel lines, and those are the aisles. And not in your aisle, on the left of you, is a red and white mushroom. And then there's your aisle, and farther down your aisle is a green mushroom. The one closest to it is Juneau, And then there's about 10, did I say feet or meters? They're different. I don't remember.
Meters? I think you said meters.
This game uses meters. This is a European game, Dragonbane. Dungeons and Dragons uses feet. Okay, so 10 meters between Juneau and Newson, and then 3 meters between Newson and Muriel, and Muriel's making a lot of noise because of her light up.
Her light up orthopedic sneakers, and she also didn't put the tennis balls on her walker, so she's making a lot of noise right now.
Yes, she is. And one aisle to the right, so like not in your aisle, but you can see it through the trellises. You know, it's not invisible. It's not like an opaque aisle or what, like closed, is a purple mushroom that is definitely targeting Muriel. Okay, well, that is where we're at. And I've drawn cards for initiative. In Dragonbane, there are 10 cards. And these each have a ferocity of 1, which means I drew 1 card for the green mushroom is going first. The red mushroom is going second, then Juneau, Muriel, Newson, and then the purple mushroom is going to end the round. We're going to do that with each round. To start us off, the green mushroom is all the way down. Juneau, you are by far the closest to that mushroom. So what's going to happen is that it is going to it has a 30-meter range spore attack with skill level 12, which I've not really rolled for this type of monster before. I'm thinking that means I roll a dice. I'm going to get to one that's easier to see. That is a 19. So that means it misses you. And nothing happens. You can see way down in the aisle. There's a glowing green mushroom making itself a little cloud. It hasn't reached you yet. Okay, Juneau? Yeah?
Yes.
Next up is the red mushroom, which is close enough to hit both Newson and Muriel. This mushroom is going to make a range of 4 meters, so that's not super far. What is 4 meters? It's like 12 feet? Yeah, it can only hit Newson and Muriel. A 4-meter spore attack. It rolls, and it has a skill level of 12 as well. It got an 8, so that means it probably hits, I think. I'm, again, new to this system, but under is good. And it's going to do damage of a d8 to you guys. So Newson, you're closer. That's a 7 to you. And, a 7 to Muriel. That's quite a lot. That's a lot of damage. Now it's Juneau's turn. You're 10 meters from Newson and probably 20 meters from the green mushroom.
And
you guys took that 7 damage, right? Newson's got armor, so I think it's only 5 for you.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I think you should come back to us rather than approaching the glowing green mushroom.
So moving is my action then.
You can move and take 1 action on each turn.
Oh, okay.
If you use a reaction, that takes your action. That's the part that...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if, like, you evade, that would... Like, dodge, I think it's called, using the evade skill. That would take... You can dodge monster attacks. You can't parry monster attacks.
Right.
Because parrying is when you hold up, like, a sword and you're like, yeah! And the swords strike one another. Yeah. So okay. I think that's why.
That makes sense. Juneau would like to run back to her companions because she's going to end up passing that red mushroom to get back.
Yeah, your movement is 10. You can reach Newson if you'd like.
Yes, she would like to get to Newson. And as she's passing the red mushroom, she'd like to try to identify it, which I'm not quite sure. Would that be under like a skill check or would that be like a battle action? Because it's not.
We need to stop these guys from killing us, right? So,
but they could be good mushrooms.
It's already damaged us.
Oh yeah, okay.
There is the skill Beast Lore, if you'd like to roll that. It says, the world is full of common and rare animals and beasts of all kinds. Roll for Beast Lore when trying to identify an animal or a monster to know its habits, abilities, and weaknesses. If you succeed, the GM should give you some piece of useful information. So you can do that with your action if you'd like.
Yes, I'd like to do Beast Lore so we can figure out, because this might be like the Vine situation where we need fire.
Ah, yes. The previous thing that they fought took half damage from everything that wasn't fire.
I rolled a 2 and her score is a 6. Thank goodness.
Success! I'm going to give you information about all 3 of these mushrooms.
Sweet.
They are nocturnal. In direct sunlight, mushrooms get a bane on all rolls and suffer d6 damage per stretch, where a stretch I think is 15 minutes. A thick layer of clouds or full cover clothing are enough to avoid the effect, and we're inside a greenhouse, so I think the greenhouse has like UV shielding to help the mushrooms, or whatever, I don't know, plant stuff. Also, they have like the equivalent of leather armor on the glowing green mushroom and the purple mushroom, and studded leather armor, which is 2 damage reduction instead of 1 on the red mushroom.
Oh, I have leather armor. I should reduce harm. I should remember to do that.
Yes, you should be reducing incoming damage by 1. But you know that they would take normal damage from most effects. They do have that armor. One thing to consider with armor is that if your weapon deals 2 damage and they have 2 armor, your weapon would take 2 damage.
Okay.
So the red mushroom should not be hit physically with a weapon that could deal 2 damage, is the information that you've mechanically gained. The other ones, it's unlikely that you're only going to do 1 damage. But the higher that armor, the less likely you want to hit it with your sword, because your sword will break. So like there's stuff that has like 4 armor. You don't want to hit that with a sword, because your sword deals 4 damage. It has 4 armor. It cancels out completely. That means your sword takes 4 damage. Your sword only has 10 durability or something like that. You do that 3 times, your sword breaks.
Good to know. As she's running back to Newsom, she goes, "Oh, Newsom, I've run into these before. Well, not these particular ones, but like similar ones from, I don't remember, and I don't think it's important right now. But the sun, they're nocturnal, so they don't like the sun. And it hurts them. So if you could I don't know, create the sun, break their ceiling. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get the sun in this beautiful, beautiful greenhouse, and I'm a little hesitant to break it, but that is the information I know."
And the red one, don't hit that one with the sword.
Oh, yes, and don't hit the red one. It's very, it's armored in a way, but not with, people armor.
I think I follow you. Muriel, can you make sunlight in here?
I can make another fireball.
That's not quite the same.
I mean, it'll do the job.
Maybe you should fireball this red mushroom.
Or the ceiling to let the sun in.
Well, sure. I mean, I could blow up the ceiling. Do you want me to blow up the ceiling?
Juneau looks to be in so much pain. She's just like, "No, but you all might die, and while I can make my own choices about death by plant, it's not very nice to let your friends die all in the name of saving a building that could be rebuilt." And you get the feeling that she is saying this from memory because she has been told this before. So yes, Muriel, if you can, you can let the sun in and perhaps hit them again. Does your little flying bird flame take direction?
No. But I can cast a salamander that can climb up the walls and go shatter it.
Doesn't it take a long time to summon a salamander?
It takes a
because
stretch.
she has prepared them. So everything not prepared in her spellbook with grimoire would take twice as long. So because she's prepared them, some of them are instant, like Firebird is instant.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we in the initiative? Who's next?
So.
Muriel's next.
I've got it. How far am I from the nearest wall?
Like exterior wall?
Sure.
Or ceiling? I'd say 50 feet, which is some number of meters. Let's divide that back. Calculator out. As you can tell from my accent, I am not
16?
European. Yeah, you're like 15 meters from the ceiling.
Damn.
I mean, just setting fire to the red mushroom is good from my point of view as well.
Fine, I'll just do that then. But I'm just telling you, I have shatter. I just need to touch something and it'll shatter.
Could we throw Muriel at the ceiling and catch her?
Muriel's movement is... I got your character sheet here. Oh, that's... Yeah, I mean, it would take you about 3 rounds to get to the wall to shatter all the glass.
No, that's okay.
You literally do have shatter.
I do. I literally have shatter.
Wow.
But I can do whirlwind.
You said it was 15 meters to the ceiling. Is that also the distance to the wall, or is the wall closer or further? Well, I guess there are 2 walls, right? We're in aisle, whatever.
15 feet per aisle, and you guys are in aisle, like, there's one aisle between you, and then there's another aisle. So I'd say it's the same distance between, because you're not very far into the aisles. I'd say it's about the same 15 meters to the exterior wall as well. Yeah. I'm going to let you choose. You're equidistant from wall and ceiling.
And
15
that
meters.
would give them, that would take you 2 turns, and that would give them a bane on their attacks.
On everything they do.
Yeah.
What happens if I cast whirlwind, where all untethered objects and creatures up to human size in the area are hurled 2d4 meters away?
2d4 meters would give you at most 8, which wouldn't quite hit the ceiling.
But if
Unless
I
it
upcast
started at the ceiling. Oh, you upcast it.
If I upcast it, it increases the range by 4 meters and inflicts another d4 damage.
So you can Team Rockets blasting away these mushrooms?
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
So that's good. So you're attempting to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? You're
Yes, I'm
hurling it and
attempting to
damaging
kill
it.
3 mushrooms with 1 greenhouse.
It's got to be our...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess she'll say, hold on to something, kids. And then she'll cast whirlwind.
Yeah, okay, roll for it. Let's see if you
Okay.
can spend the MP.
Well, presumably you're not going to put us in the area of effect, right?
You guys are,
It's
so
a
you should hold on.
It's a sphere, so,
Yeah.
go for the ride. Did a 14 again, and my elementalism is a 15, so that is a success.
Okay, let's have a roll. This is a strength roll for both of your friends to see if they grab on. Mushrooms don't have hands, so they're not grabbing on.
Mm-hmm.
Like a flat strength?
Yeah, you're going to roll your dice and compare the number to your strength attribute. And if you're meet or lower, you pass. And if not, you're going through the ceiling of this greenhouse. And how many willpower... how many willpower points did you spend, Muriel? What level did you cast that at?
I'm going to cast it at a 3, which makes it 6 willpower points.
Yes. And that gives you 2d4 meters. So you want to roll
That gives me 3d4. No, wait. It's... Well,
Roll
it
the
doesn't say
meters
after...
before you decide what level to cast it at, because you might need more. Yeah.
That is 6 meters. 2d4. Yeah, I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Yep. Keep going. Upcast until you hit 15 meters. And that's the level of gigantic whirlwind that you got to spend.
Okay.
What is it?
That's
a
another
bonus
4,
4
so I'm at
meters
10.
per upcasting?
A bonus d4.
Oh, that's going to take a long.
Okay, I got 3 4s in a row, so I'm at 8. I need another 4. God damn it. 3. Okay, that's 5. So I upcasted it 3 times.
Yeah, so it is rank 5. That means that you spent 10 willpower points on this. I mean, this makes sense.
6, 7,
Isn't it 4?
8,
Because you started with, you
10.
get 2
Okay.
d4 the first time.
And it starts at rank 2.
Yep.
Okay.
So upcasting it 3 times means 2 plus 3 is 5. It means spending 10
Makes
willpower
sense.
points. Muriel has...
rank 1 is 2. Rank 2 is 4.
Yeah.
So that makes it... Okay.
Oh, I see. That
2.
the first level of it,
First level is
2d4
2?
meters away. Yeah. Well, no, because it's your first. It's rank 2, and you start with 2d4. So yeah, the way Dragonbane is written, it starts you at rank 2, and you're rolling 2d4. So it's 1d4 per rank, and every additional rank gets you an additional 1d4. So if you rolled 5d4 total, it's a rank 5 spell.
Okay.
I think. Again, my first time playing Dragonbane. Everybody listening, I could be wrong.
Who knows? We'll go
No,
with
I think
that.
you're
That's
absolutely
fine.
right. Except I think you did say it increases the range by 4 meters, so you don't need to roll it. The roll
A
additional
D4.
D for the
Oh, by
damage.
No,
by
it does
4
say
meters.
increases
You're
the range
right,
by
you're
4 meters.
By 4 meters. Okay.
And inflicts another d4 damage.
You're right. Good reading. I like that we all have the spell pulled up. Good players.
Well,
I was listening to you when you read it out.
Yes.
well, I rolled a 2 and a 4 the first time, so I
Yes.
still have to roll 3 more times, even with 4. I still
Okay.
have to. Yeah.
So it is still 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still 5. Yes.
Yes.
But that means that it gets. Yeah. Okay. And
All
then it takes.
untethered objects and creatures up to human size in the area of effect are hurled away, suffering the same amount of bludgeoning damage, and they land prone, which is laying down. So describe the scene, Muriel, as you end this combat in one. I mean, you used all of your magic.
I still have some willpower points.
I can do it again.
This girl's not out of the fight yet. I will need a rest after this. Muriel says, oh God, well, you didn't like my fire last time, so let's try some wind. And she thrusts her arms out and huge whirlwind pours out of her without any hesitation or care for where you guys are.
Please roll a strength saving throw.
Had a little tipple.
Juneau rolled a 15, and her score is 13.
Oh, no.
Juneau, you're going along for the ride?
I rolled a 7 for Newson, which is below 12.
Describe, what do you grab, Newson?
Well, I think the most solid thing is the sort of beds in which they are, right, their containers, they're fixed to the ground. So not the trellises, right, which are probably going to go blowing all over the place, but actually grab on the legs of the bedding areas. And so I imagine Newson's legs are probably lifted up into the air by the whirlwind as they grip ferociously to the legs of the bed.
And Juneau, can you describe what you grabbed onto?
I don't think she grabbed onto anything. I think she was too busy trying to figure out the mushrooms. Like, she just didn't even hear.
Oh, and describe yourself flying through the air, bursting through the glass ceiling. You take, was it 15 damage?
17.
How many hit points did you have?
Not that many.
Oh, you only had 9 hit points. Oh my gosh, that was 1 from killing you flat dead. If you had hit negative 18, you would have died. As it is, you're unconscious. Making death saving throws, you guys.
If I had a nickel for every time a one of my fire breathing kittens characters gets this close to death, and if she dies, it dies, I'd have 2 nickels. It'll be interesting. She is so she is staring at the mushrooms after just dumping all this information at you, not even paying attention. And then she finds herself in the air, and then I think she just hits a support beam on her way out and is just down for the count.
And that was the last thing you remembered. How Dragonbane mechanics works is you're not unconscious. You are going to make death saving throws. A friend can rally you, and then you'll wake up and be able to move, but still continue making death saving throws, or they can heal you, and then you can stop making death saving throws. The mushrooms, I'm going to tell you guys, they had 10 HP, 9 HP, and 9 HP. So you've successfully sliced and diced your
took care of that. That took care of that problem.
Yes. And Juneau, you're about, 5 feet outside the greenhouse, and you are going to start making death saving throws. And that made a very loud sound, you guys. So I'm going to present you with 2 different things. One is Juneau is making death saving throws. And 2 is that made a very loud sound. As the greenhouse ceiling explodes with Mushroom 1, Mushroom 2, and Juneau, a gnome in her late 60s, 3.5 feet tall, maybe 100 pounds, with white hair, tan weathered skin, and blue eyes, rushes out of the groundskeeper's cottage. The sharp clang of her tools, she's carrying a battle hoe, cutting through the humid, stale air of the greenhouse as she pulls open the glass door. Her eyes widen as she spots a familiar figure in the greenhouse. The tense movement of the whirlwind spell. Picture yourself casting that spell, spinning around, reveling. You're definitely cackling as you cast this tornado. Revealing her own estranged mother, swirling with spores and glass all around you. And Muriel, as you turn, it reveals your face. The gnome halts, staring, and asks, Mom?
Do you want me to make a death saving throw?
Yes. So now we're going to go to Juneau. Juneau, please roll a d20.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, because if you haven't played Dragonbane before, I have death pulled up. You roll against your con. Juneau's con is 9.
You guys go save Juneau.
Where are we in the initiative sequence?
Oh, actually, Juneau, you don't have to roll yet because Newson gets to go before. Okay, so we're still in initiative. I'm going to replace the mushrooms with your daughter, Muriel. Okay, we're good to go. Newson, we're continuing in the combat initiative. It's your turn.
So Newson is going to rush over to
What's your
Juneau.
movement?
10.
Okay, so you can get 10 feet closer. I said the wall is 15 and she's 5, so you can get halfway there this turn.
Okay, well I'll dash. So I'll use the rest of my turn to make another move to get right next to her.
And your first aid doesn't require you to be at that location. It says if you have a friend who's at 0 hit points, you can roll for the healing skill on your turn. It doesn't have a distance requirement that I am seeing. Let me double check. Healing and resting, page 52. On
it does say another
53, yeah.
Another person next to you can save your life.
Yeah. Okay, so I accept your dash action. That's a very good action. You make it all the way, because you sprint. You make it all the way to Juneau, and you kneel by her side at the end of your turn. Next up, it's a certain groundskeeper. Mom?
Dorothy?
She puts down her weapon. What are you doing at my work?
Yeah, I didn't know you worked here. I didn't. These are my friends. This is where, that's Newsom, and the one lying on the ground is Juneau. Newsom knows the people that own the house, so we're here to talk to them, but then they locked us out, and then there were vines that were trying to kill us, and now there's mushrooms that were trying to kill us, and I was just trying to stop the mushrooms from killing us. Sorry for destroying your greenhouse. You look good.
Oh, the greenhouse is so destroyed.
It's very...
She's like, oh no, my employers are gonna fire me. What did you do?
No, you can just blame it on me, like you blame everything on me, and
That's because you did it. It's all your fault.
You are growing deadly mushrooms, so it's not my fault. Why do you have deadly mushrooms and deadly vines,
Mom, it's my job. And then please make a roll. It's going to be your choice. If you want to approach her honestly or with lies, it's going to be role-based as to whether or not you're able to reconcile in this moment a little bit with your daughter.
She'll go for persuasion. I am wearing fine garments that should give me a boon on charisma-based skills if you find it reasonable.
I do find it reasonable.
Excellent.
Privilege is real.
Pretty privilege, yes, even though she's ancient. All right.
She's got the shoes.
Oh, thank God. Because one of them was a 20. But the other one is a 5, and my persuasion is a 12, So
what do you say? What could you possibly say right now that would make your daughter a little bit less mad at you?
I really missed you. And I'm, even though I destroyed everything, I'm still really glad to see you.
Aww. Okay, now we're banking these positives and negatives, and it's going to affect whether or not you guys do eventually reconcile or not.
Okay.
So you can bank a positive for that. That's a pass.
Thanks.
I've redistributed the cards for a new round. I shuffled and I dealt. Juneau, you're first in the round. Please make a death saving roll.
Hey, oh. I can't read. I can't read. It's fine. I can totally read. It's a 17.
You have 1 failure. If you reach 3 failures or successes, that determines the outcome. Newson, you're next. You're kneeling at Juneau's side, and you feel like she just coughed up some blood.
I'm going to whip my bandages out and make a healing roll. I rolled an 11, which is less than my healing skill. So I succeed.
Nice.
which I think you can stop making death rolls and get a d6 hit points back.
Yes.
Did you... Okay, so I just get 6 flat then.
D6.
A d6.
8d6, okay. Hey, that's 4 hit points.
Hey, you're at 4 hit points. And then because you were below, or you hit or were below 0, let me double check real quick, but I think that you make a roll. There's so many rules.
I think I'm actually dead.
No, you're not, because you didn't hit your negative. Your negative 18 is your negative. You were at negative by, like, 1 away. Okay, for 0 hit points, you recover a 6-sided dice, you stop making death rolls, and your failed death roll number resets. And you roll a d20 dice, and roll on the severe injury table on page 51.
Okay.
But you get a con check first, right, to see whether you get the severe injury.
Yes,
I mean,
you don't have to.
She's likely to fail. That's
true.
You might
Okay.
as well roll.
Yes, please make a Constitution. So
that's
a d20 dice result equal to or lower than your Constitution. Okay, is a success. Continue.
Sorry, that's a 12.
Okay, so that's higher. So if you succeed, you're fine. If you fail, roll again to roll on the severe injury table on page 51, which contains a list of injuries, how they affect your character, and how long it takes to recover from them. Yes. Thank you, Nuisance Player. It's our first time doing death saving rolls. I'm glad you're getting to see all of the game, though.
So that's a 20.
Oh, okay. All right. That's like the worst roll that you can make in Dragonbane. You cannot remember who you or the other player characters are. The effect must be role played, and the healing time is roll a d6 that number of days.
Oh, this is going to be a long one. One day, we're good.
For one day, you cannot remember who yourself or the other player characters are. But you're healed. You got 4 hit points, right?
Yep.
Newson, this is probably what happened to you.
Makes sense.
Through a greenhouse.
So, I mean,
So you come round and you see me kneeling over you, bandaging you.
And she goes, she kind of like pushes you off, and she goes, "What in the tarnation is this? Get away from me right now!" And like has a completely different accent.
You were wounded, Juneau. I was just tending to your wounds.
Who in God's name is Juneau? What is... She's just like panicked, freaking out. Why is there so much glass? What is happening?
Well, Muriel's whirlwind flung you through the greenhouse wall.
Who is Muriel?
She's our gnome friend. She's over there, talking to her daughter.
I don't know who you are. That's not my friend. That may be your friend. But who am...
You guys, the badger.
There's a
Muriel,
badger.
do you mind role-playing as the badger?
Sure. Is the badger alive?
Yeah, absolutely.
He stayed
didn't
outside
go
the
in the
greenhouse.
greenhouse?
Yeah, it was outside the greenhouse.
Oh, okay. The badger will come snuffling up to you. Juneau, are you okay?
I don't know who this Juneau person is. Who are you? But at least you look kind of soft. Can I pet you?
I've never been pet before. I don't know. What's petting? You took a big hit. Are you okay?
I mean, I don't know what my name is. It's not Juneau, but if that's what you want to call me, that's fine. And she's like scratching under his chin.
Oh, that feels nice.
His like back foot starts going, thumping against the ground.
I don't really care what your name is. I don't have a name. Names are irrelevant.
Okay. Okay.
Don't stop.
She's just gonna sit there and pet the badger for her turn, I guess, while her wounds get fixed.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the combat order.
Okay. So it looks like we're locked in. I'm just gonna follow behind you. Who are you again?
My name is Newson.
All right, Mr. Newsom. lead the way, I guess. I mean, it kind of looks like we're trapped in here anyways, so I guess I'll follow along. Bad news, though. And she kind of like pulls the bow off of her back. I have no idea how to use this. So I hope everything's friendly.
Maybe it will come back to you when you try.
Muriel, I want you to roll a persuasion check. This is a passive.
Persuasion check. Okay. Let's see.
This is to see if your daughter wants to invite you in for tea or not.
Well, I got a 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so because your friend is clearly injured, and she's not a bad person, she's like, so, Mom, do you want some tea? And Juneau and Newson, you're welcome to come in. And she gestures at the cottage with the lovely flower windowsill. What do you call that? Whatever.
Window box?
The window box. And it's
Sure.
a nice cottage. It's got, like, picture a cozy, inviting home.
Yes. I mean, I'd love a spot of tea,
Okay, and that's 2 out of 3 for reconciliation. It's like death saving throws.
Oh, great. Muriel will look at Juneau and say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm Muriel.
Nice to meet you. I'm apparently Juneau, but what kind of weird name that is, I have no idea. And I think I'm trapped here with you guys and these gross mushroom bodies. I'm not really an outdoorsy person, I don't think. I'm not sure.
Well, that's a complete 180.
Ooh, I have a question for the party.
Yes, DM.
Are you guys going to spore print the mushrooms for her or not? Genuine role-playing question. Juneau's lost her mind. Do you spore print these mushrooms for her, or do you not?
She does not remember she likes plants. She will not remember she likes plants for 24 hours.
Muriel is not going to because she's too focused on her daughter.
I mean, I think Newson probably did know that with what Juneau's intent was, and probably would. It's in his nature to help his friend, so they probably would do the same thing. But at the moment, I think Newson is more concerned about the situation, and so would like to see everyone go inside and get settled down and relax and have some tea. So I think Newson will keep it in mind that maybe they should collect some samples when they come back out, but not right now.
So for Juneau's players, it's a no on the vines, and that's a no on the mushrooms. We're going to get you a plant this episode.
And it's
Maybe.
all thanks to Muriel at this point. I feel really bad. Muriel doesn't, but I do.
No, I think it's great. It's like the hat thing all over again.
Yes. All you want is a hat. It's all you want in the world. It's never happening.
I would very much like to come in and have some tea. Thank you. And Juneau, come along. You could do with the rest. A sit down will make you feel better, I'm sure.
Ooh, do you have sweet iced tea?
Yes, I do. And chamomile and black tea. She guides you into the house. It's amazingly cozy. There's herbs hanging down from the ceiling. It smells kind of nice, like kind of like mint, kind of like lavender. She's drying some really nice herbs. And she puts one of those really cool clear glass tea kettles on where you can see the bubbles. Mm-hmm. And serves you all tea. And her home is like complete. You know that feeling where a house is lived in and nice? And it's also set up for just one person. It's one room entirely. You can see the bed. You can see everything. It's clean. It's well maintained. It's cozy. And it's solitary.
So is there anywhere for us to sit? Or do we stand and drink our tea?
She has folding chairs, number count of 1. So she brings out 1 folding chair. So there are 2 chairs at this table right now. 1 for her and 1 for... Well, she doesn't sit down. She sits on the bed and points to the 2 chairs. Sorry, I'm not really fitted for guests.
That's quite right. You've made us most welcome. And Newson will gesture for Juneau to sit down on one of the chairs.
She will. She's not going to argue at this point.
Are you guys resting mechanics?
Yes.
Yes.
With a 15-minute rest, you get 1 condition healed. Nobody's pushed. You guys aren't pushing. And you get 1d6 of willpower points back, and you get 1d6 of hit points unless someone's taking the heal action.
I think again. How many hit points are you down, Juno?
I am down 5, and she just rolled a 3, so she's down 2 now.
I think probably Newson will try to heal Juno some more. 12, which is under their healing skill, so you can get another d6.
Ooh, I am back at full.
Very good, because full for you is 9.
Yes. Does that just applies to hit points, right?
You also got a d6 singular of will points. Healing skill doesn't alter that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Muriel, how many will points do you have now that you've healed?
I have 9 willpower points.
All right. Okay, and are you going to go for the last saving throw on reconciliation with your daughter, or are you going to move on?
No, she Dorothy, your home is lovely. You seem really settled here and happy.
She takes a deep breath in and looks around and like absorbs that. Like it's not something she's savoring that moment. And she says, "Thank you."
I've really regretted the way that we parted ways. I know that I haven't been very understanding of your of who you are. But I've learned a lot since becoming a part of the Fire-Breathing Kittens and really seen people from all different walks of life. And I wish that I had tried to understand yours more.
She looks surprised, honestly. Like, things she had on her to-do list for today did not include an apology from her estranged mother. Well, I didn't exactly give you grandchildren. You can tell this hurts her.
Yeah, that's been a sad part of my life too. But I get to interact with lots of young people in the Fire-Breathing Kittens, and some of them have become like substitute grandchildren. And your brother Daniel, I mean, he's old, but he has time still. I haven't given up on him.
Okay. Mentioning the brother might not be, Oh, how are you going to recover from that? Her face clouds when you mention that, well, at least Daniel will give me grandchildren.
Well, I just mean I would like grandchildren but yeah, I mean, I would much rather have a daughter.
Aww. Make that last persuasion check.
Come on, Muriel. Don't fail me now. Yes.
Remember the push mechanic.
Yeah, I got a 9, and her persuasion is a 12.
Whoa, that's a success. That's your third. You're out of death saving roll territory. You know what? Describe the scene that leads up to a hug between you two.
Aw. I think, Muriel says I'd much rather have a daughter, and then she'll awkwardly shuffle over on her walker that's squeaking with her light up shoes, and she'll just say, I hope that you can forgive me, and I'd like to rebuild things with you. And then if Dorothy accepts, she'll try to hug her.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? She missed you too.
Aw.
Yeah, and she hugs you and she says softly into your ear, "Oh, Mom."
Oh, Dorothy. Oh.
Yeah, a little tear rolls down Muriel's wrinkled old face.
And you guys sit around the table and you catch up. This is what the rest is, And mechanically, you guys get some stuff. Woo, mechanically. All right, so you get some information about the mansion as you talk. The person you saw on the screen is Captain Rowan. He is in charge of security for the mansion. He's a co-worker of Dorothy's. She's the groundskeeper. She grew the vines. She grew the vines from earlier. She also grew the mushrooms. So she's able. And the people in the mansion are named Lorella, Miss Derry, and Castor, Miss Derry, Lorella's father.
I just want to say, when Juneau gets her memory back, she is going to try to break into this place again to go talk to the groundskeeper.
You could probably just ask Muriel to take you back.
Yeah, Muriel's your contact. This is Muriel's daughter.
You really think Juneau's going to think of that?
Oh man, if only you had your memory and you could ask now for some seeds.
This is like meeting your favorite celebrity and not recognizing them and being like, "Oh, that was who?"
Aww.
It's okay. It's entertaining. I think it's hilarious.
2 seasons in a row. You're gonna get your hat eventually. I put in so many plants for you too.
I'm so sorry. I've ruined everything.
No, you got one more chance. All right. So, okay. So, and the very last mechanical benefit that you get from being friends with Dorothy is that the mansion's windows are protected behind thick metal shutters. These fortified shutters are controlled by the person you saw on the screen earlier, Captain Rowan. And there is one more contact screen on the wall of the mansion itself, next to the front door, basically, which is probably shuttered, but you have one more ability to get the windows to open.
So, Juneau is talking to Newson and getting, like, the lowdown of why she's here. Just like, oh, we're here because of this, blah, 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 blah. She goes, so, I don't know much right now. It's all kind of a big blank slate in there. But is there like secret tunnels anywhere? Because did like previous me before head trauma me look for tunnels? I feel like we should look for tunnels. And she's asking Muriel's daughter, like, do you have a secret tunnel?
Oh, I don't have a secret tunnel, but, I mean, you could just get Rowan to open them, right? That's what I would do. I could just talk to him. And that is an option for you guys mechanically. You have persuaded Dorothy, so she could persuade her. She could help. So the help action is that you get boon when you roll, so she can provide you mechanically with help to persuade Rowan to open the shutters. That's what you've got.
Or we could do that. Newson, are you ready to go discover whatever it is we're after?
I am. I would like to go into the house and discover what they have to say for themselves. Will you show us where this other panel is, Dorothy, and we can see if we can get into the house?
Absolutely. And she takes you through the grounds. You guys pass some really cool plants. So I'm just digging it in for Juneau right now. And when you reach the front door, which, by the way, is extremely well manicured, we're talking like round bushes with little, like, regularly spaced pink rose flowers and amazing white, like, lilies and really cool, like, dripping arch flowers, you can walk under them, like wisteria and stuff. You reach the main building. The mansion's windows are protected behind thick metal shutters. Fortified shutters reflect dull light like a bunker. There is a white square with a button on the wall next to a metal shutter that covers the door. And you guys have the help action because Dorothy is here with you.
Dorothy, if it helps, since I don't remember much, you could just pose this as you need to help the poor amnesiac, because I don't think I'm going to be much help any other way.
Well, I think that Muriel should do the talking. She managed to persuade him to let us in the first place. I myself am not very good with words.
Well, I think you're very eloquent, actually. But I'll do my best, and, hopefully Dorothy will help me.
Yep. Mechanically, you have the help action. So go ahead and describe the scenario and describe the help, and then we'll see your roll. See if it works or not.
See. Yeah.
So
it's
we
another
press the
intercom,
button.
you said. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Step
Should
one.
press the button, and if they show up,
The white square fills with the image of a man wearing a light blue and gold guard's uniform.
Hello. I'm sorry about earlier. Turns out I'm not actually her adopted grandmother, but I am Dorothy's actual mother. And we really need to get in and talk to you. You saw Newsom here, and he has questions, and you owe him those questions, answers. And Dorothy can vouch for me.
He has that, like, fellow coworker look. You ever, like, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just, like, looks at Dorothy, and Dorothy shrugs. And there's a clear family resemblance. You're both 3.5-foot tall gnomes with, like, weathered skin, and, you know, I mean, you're kind of old. And, yeah, that's pretty clearly your daughter. You're pretty clearly your mother. Make a persuasion roll with Boone.
With
roll
Boone.
2 dice and take the lower number.
All right. Well, that's good. I got a 5, and my persuasion is a 12.
That's a success.
Yay.
Okay, so because you appeal to Rowan as a person, and possibly to his guilt, because Newson's standing right there. Yeah, and Rowan is the one who discarded Newson. And you know what Dorothy says that helps you out? The thing that she does also is she says, "He says you left him in an alley." And Rowan looks, oh, so embarrassed. He did leave you in an alley. And he goes, "Newson, are you here to attack or hurt us?"
I have no desire to hurt anyone. I merely wish to find out what happened to me.
Well, I guess we owe you that. The shutter lowers from the front door, the thick steel giving way to a very nice front door.
Newson steps up and reaches out for the door and then pauses for a moment before opening it. But then, with the look of resolve in their eyes, pushes the door open and steps inside.
When you step inside, you are in a dim, carpeted hallway. As the shutters pull back from the windows, the light enters the room through the glass, and you can see that the long hallway has candles in the chandeliers overhead, which were the only light source, and now it's getting lighter and lighter, and at the end of the long hallway around a dining table is a woman dressed in gold. She is sitting beside 3 types of huge plants. The first type of plant, and I'm going to talk about this, but I'm also going to talk about her reaction. She looks surprised, and not in a good way. As you look at her, she's looking at you, and she's narrowing her eyes in, like, a hostile way, one could say. Like, it's not friendly. It's definitely not friendly. The first type of plant is an upright stalk with a red flower at the top. I have Monarda didyma, the scarlet bee balm. Pronunciation, who knows? I don't know, I'm making it up. The second type of plant is a weeping willow-style bending stalk with bluebells drifting downward. That's Hyacinthoides nonscripta, the bluebell. The third type of plant is a tall pink orchid whose petals resemble a praying mantis, poised and waiting to strike. And this is Dendrobium lacyanthera. Again, these pronunciations, I'm just making them up. Don't know, going with it. So these 3 plants are animated. They move. And as she looks at you all, she says, "Newson, you really shouldn't have come back." And we're all going to roll for initiative, which I'm going to do right here. Okay, there's no rolling for initiative. GM draws cards. Muriel has a 2. I'm going to get a 5 for Newson, a 6 for Juneau. And then for Lorella, it's a 4. Plant 1, plant 2, plant 3. And I'm checking their ferocities now. And it's a ferocity 2 for that one. Okay, we're using basically all the cards. I have all of the initiatives. This is 8 cards of initiatives. Muriel, you're up first. Then it's going to be the bluebell, and then the yellow plant that you haven't seen yet, that Lorella has in her pocket like a Pokeball, and then Newson, and then Juneau, and then Lorella again, and then the red plant, and then the pink plant. All right, so Muriel, what do you do?
Does it look like she's going to attack?
She's squinting her eyes at you angrily. She says, "Newson, you shouldn't have come back here." And, I mean, you can guess she's going to attack you. I can tell you she's going to attack you. But if you want to delay until after her, you also can. You can swap with pink or red. Those are the second and last in the order, if you want.
Yeah. Oh,
Up
sorry,
till now,
Newson.
the plants have attacked us, right?
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Can I look at Dorothy and say, are these also bad plants?
These are Lorella's very own. They're not mine.
I will do a magic trick instead. A puff of smoke. An impressive puff of smoke erupts in front of you. Very popular for dramatic entrances and can give you a boon to sneaking in certain situations. So she would like to do a dramatic puff of smoke and then maybe like disappear beneath the table.
Yes. Oh, wow. The table is immediate melee distance from the plants. So if you hide under the table, the risk is that if they find you, they can just punch you. And the reward is that you are right next to them. So, and not where they expect you to be at all. So let's see in this room filled with smoke if you get there or not. It said it.
Okay.
You do a stealth?
Sneaking. So yes, sneaking. Let's see.
Yeah.
She has an 11.
And it was saying you roll with boon?
Yes, you roll with, boon.
Yeah.
Which is good. I got a 10, and my sneaking is an 11.
Muriel's now under the table. Muriel, you're not alone. You see with you under the table is a massive yellow plant. I'm going to give you a picture. It is a sunshine ligustrum plant. Here's a picture. It's like a yellow bush.
Uh-huh.
And you and the yellow bush are now in the same space, occupying the same space together. This is very bad for you.
Oh, great.
The thing that's attacking twice, that's the thing.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
But yeah.
It's fine. I've reconciled with my daughter. I can rest now.
Oh my gosh. Next up is the bluebells. Oh my gosh. The bluebells. So everyone, this is kind of a close quarters, but with things you can hide behind sort of combat. Earlier we had like a longer distance combat. We had a vertical combat. This is kind of like you're in a room inside, and it's a hallway, so it's a long room with tables and chairs, and you can genuinely hide beneath tables like Muriel has or behind chairs. But you're never going to miss, is what I'm saying, like for distance in this combat in particular. And the bluebell has, and these things have 30-meter range attacks, and this bluebell does specifically. So the bluebell's going to roll to try to hit Newson. Newson, you're the target right now. It rolls a 20. Oh, good. You guys, rolling 20 is not good in this game. So when you roll a 20, one of the things that you're risking is that you hit an ally. So I'm going to roll a second dice to see of the 3. I think there's 3 options here. Damage yourself, make a fool of yourself, or make a lot of noise. So I'm going to roll a d6. And if it's a 1 or a 2, I'm going to say that that's a 4. Okay, so they do. You make a fool of yourself. So Lorella is going to reveal her personality a little bit as the bluebell strikes like the statue of armor next to the door. And Lorella's going to be like, "You fool!" Not very friendly, not very nice. And the bluebell looks embarrassed. If a plant could, it droops. And it's already a drooping plant. It droops a little bit more. Meanwhile, the statue of armor explodes into tiny little pieces, and you guys are like, "Oh crap." After the bluebell, it's the yellow plant that's under the table with Muriel.
Great.
Okay, so it was going to come out from under the table and attack you guys, but I'm going to roll to see what it does. It's a 2. Razor sharp leaves. Lorella's Sunshine Ligustrum's leaves cut a player character, inflicting a d12 of slashing damage. This is bad. This is very bad.
d12. It's tough.
That's 4 damage.
Okay.
What's your HP?
I have 3 left.
Did you start at 7?
What? I took a lot of damage.
Oh, gosh.
And only healed like 2 last rest, so.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Newson, it's your turn.
Newson might have healed you if they'd realised that you were solo.
Well, I'd rather Juneau be healed, considering I literally knocked her personality out of her.
Well, I think Newson's just going to try to. Well, there's another plant, isn't there? There's the bluebell that's gone already. There's the yellow plant.
There's the yellow plant under the table, the red plant, the bluebell, and the pink orchid. They all have 3 different combat stats. I don't remember if I used orc or... These are from the Dragonbane book, list of monsters. I've just changed what they look like. The bluebell is a ranged attacker. The scarlet bee balm and the dendrobium are both like nearby attackers. And the dendrobium is definitely the nastiest of the non-yellow ones. But the yellow one's super definitely the nastiest.
Newson would like to attack one of the plants that hasn't attacked yet. So whichever one is in their line of sight or closest to them.
Only the blue has attacked so far. And the
Yes.
yellow, yeah. The yellow is going to attack twice, though. So you've got yellow coming up, red coming up, and pink coming up.
I'm kind of assuming that Muriel's going to unleash fiery hell on the yellow plant at some point in the near future. So
Well, the yellow one just attacked me, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
It can attack
Okay.
twice, Muriel, because it has a
gotcha.
ferocity of 2.
Okay.
And it's going to attack you again before you get a chance to attack Muriel. And you have 3 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that the sequence? In that case, I think Newson will have to attack the yellow one. That is a 15, which is exactly what Newson's sword skill is. So that's a success, and it's D10 damage, piercing and slashing. That's 7.
Okay. 7 damage. Yeah, so just to let you guys know, that had 44 hit points. So it's down to 37. There are many ways to end combat. They might not be hit point depletion for this one. Just letting y'all know. Is that the end of your turn, Newson?
Yes, I think so.
Juneau, it's your turn.
Is the smoke screen still up?
For this round, I'd say yes.
Juneau, in her little personality switch, would like to sneak through the smoke to get behind Lorella and hold her knife to her throat.
Ooh,
And-
you found the person with no hit points. Yes.
And very, very scarily just be like, call them off.
Yeah, let's roll for that intimidation. Absolutely. I'm looking at your character sheet, and I think, what's the skill that most fits this? What's intimidation?
Is it... do you want sneaking? Do you want performance? Do you want...
Oh, you sneak successfully because of that.
Okay. I think performance would be funny because she's like, maybe I'm this secret assassin. Like, she's just trying on personalities, trying to find the right one at this point.
Okay. And I don't see an intimidate, like, 1-for-1. I searched for the rule book intimidate, and there's not, like, no results found. So it does
I
seem
think
like
persuasion includes intimidate.
Persuasion. Okay, page 34. Performance is reciting a poem, making jokes. Persuasion is...
To make another person see things your way. So, yeah.
I would accept either because of the fact that you literally are, like, clowning. So you can do either, yeah. And let me look at your character sheet for the numbers. It looks like persuasion for you is a 15. Oh my goodness. And performance is a 13. So if you use your persuasion, which does sort of fit the role better, you get an extra 10% chance of success.
Yes. So I think she's going to do persuasion.
Yeah.
Essentially, she sees you all fight to battle. She kind of looks at the weapon she has. She sees she has this, like, knife, and she goes, oh, I must be scary. And then she sneaks over to go be scary.
Yes, let's see that persuasion roll. And by the way, good job spotting that Lorella doesn't have a turn in the initiative. Yeah, her yellow plant does twice, but yeah.
So that's a 6.
Ooh, that's better than a 15. The knife digs a little bit into the skin of her throat. She struggles to break free, but as a thin, like, partial elf maybe, or just very thin human, we're not sure exactly what... I don't know exactly what she is. I just kind of assumed she was human. Oh, she is an elf. Okay, all right. So she's... Sorry about that. I didn't notice that. So, Juneau, you are a 6 foot tall... Your weight is heavier than you look. Your hair color is pale white like yarrow. And then we have Lorella, who's an elf. Looking at Lorella's stats, she's not a human, like I was saying earlier. She is an elf. She's thin. She's wayfish. She's not strong at all. She's honestly, like, let's be real, She's not able to break out of your grip. She struggles a little bit, and her thin little arms, you just pin them behind her back and hold a knife to her throat and overwhelm her incredibly physically. And she's so scared, she starts to tremble in your arms, and a drop of blood drips down her throat. She says, "Back! Come back!" And Muriel, you're joined under the table by a pink, a blue, and a red plant.
You just get to have a plant party under the table.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is new.
After she calls them back, Juneau kind of goes, oh, like in her brain, she's like, this is working. We're going to keep going with this for now. This must be the right person out. Like, this must be how I am. And she's just going to go, now, I may not know much right now, but I do believe you owe my companion an explanation for whatever it is that you're attacking him over. And I suggest you do it quickly, or we'll just get rid of you and find the explanation ourselves.
She glances nervously at something, and you all can see, 'cause she's not super good at stealth, and it's a door. She was sitting in front of a door. This table, this hallway is in front of a door whose steel shutter has been raised. She looks nervously at the door and then looks at Newson, and she says, I'm not the one who owes Newson something. Newson owes me something. Newson, where did you hide the seeds?
Seeds? What seeds? I don't know what you're talking about.
Good, it still works.
Do you want to run that by us again? You know what the seeds are. He doesn't know what the seeds are. Talk.
She fidgets in your arms, and she goes, Captain Rowan! And she shouts for backup, and guards are going to come in. And she's going to try to, scream at the top of her lungs.
Great. Juneau still has a knife to her throat. Like, if the guards come in, she's just going to be like, don't come closer. We'll murder.
Guards are coming in. We're going to increase the tension of this round. Captain Rowan looks a little disappointed in you, Newson. Captain Rowan looks like now he has work. Ugh. And he looks like he's going to have to defend Lorella. And the room is now surrounded by, so that red plant, that blue plant, and the pink plant, again, in the edge of the room. And guards. And Lorella says, Captain Rowan, get them off me! And there's a door that she's guarding.
So
I told you we didn't come here to harm anyone, but these plants were harming my friends. We're just defending ourselves. We have no wish to harm anyone. I just want to know what happened to me, why I lost my memory, and who I was before that. Newson's going to stride over towards the door that Lorella is eyeing suspiciously.
While he's doing that to keep the captain off of his back, Juneau's going to go, so Captain, you have some choices. You could have job security by just standing there and waiting for us to get our business done, and then we'll leave, and we can pretend this never happened. Or you could have to find a new job when I kill your employer, therefore getting rid of your job. So don't touch my friends, or you will find a new job.
Make a persuasion check to try to, how does the rulebook phrase it, make the NPC see things your way? And if you're asking the NPC to sacrifice or risk something, the roll becomes an opposed roll between your persuasion and the other person's will. So I'm going to roll. It has to, and let me see if you beat this. He's rolled so bad. Okay, so he rolled really bad. So if you pass, you pass.
It's a 2. So.
Yeah, that probably beats his roll, I'd say. Yeah. He rolled above 10, and I was giving him a 50-50 to make a will check, and no. So, okay. You guys can describe how this scene wraps up, as Captain Rowan does not defend her.
Awesome. Newson, please be fast. I've got the guards contained for now. Muriel, are you okay down there?
Oh, yeah, doing great. She'll shuffle out from under the table and get away from the plants.
Yeah, that's probably good. They could kill you so quickly.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know this, but some of their attacks attack all of you with 2d12 and stuff. So
I mean, the way I see it is that I don't think Captain Rowan actually really wants to do it. He's feeling bound by his oath of duty, but given the opportunity to back down from that position, actually he was quite easy to persuade. Mm-hmm. So Newson's going to keep going and throw the door open that Lorella's been eyeing.
The door is open. The plants aren't moving. Lorella is very restrained by Juneau, and she shouts one last thing at you. If you're here to recover those seeds, I swear. Like, she's so mad.
So what's on the other side of the door?
Who's all going through the door?
I guess Muriel will stay with Dorothy, and you're holding a knife to the other girl's throat, so...
Is her chair on wheels? Or
yeah, you can put her on like a reeling... You can, yeah.
Yes, Juneau will just like wheelie chair her through the door with a knife to her throat.
Yeah, you can. What's she gonna do?
Then Dorothy and Muriel will toddle through the door as well after them.
Okay. Past a thick safety lockdown door. You know how some doors are thicker than others? This is like a vault door thickness. There's the safe room. It's a laboratory. An old man sits at a lab bench, eyes downward, fingers tracing a clear tube holding a beating heart.
Hello?
He looks up and sees you. His clear eyes lock with yours. Newson, you're alive? His voice trembles.
Yes, I am alive, and I've returned to find out what happened to me. Can you help me?
You don't recognize me?
I lost my memory. Lorella dumped me in an alleyway, and I couldn't remember anything that happened before that, but it's been slowly coming back in bits and pieces. I think she must have done something to my mind to make my memories go away.
Oh my goodness. Well, Newson, I'm Castor. I made you, Newson. And his eyebrows lift upward, twisted in pain and abandonment as he looks at Lorella.
Newson's going to fall to his knees and reach his hand out towards the old man and say, You made me? What did you make me for?
He pats his hand on yours, holding hands with you. His hands are bony and old. And he says, I wanted a research assistant and another family member.
Newson feels something wet running down his face and reaches up their hand to touch it. It's an unfamiliar sensation. They hold their hand up and see the water on it. I have a family?
Yes. Me and Lorella and, well, Clark.
But Clark is no longer with us. We saw the gravestone outside.
Yes. He looks very sad. The sound of the heart beating is obnoxiously loud, like lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub in its tube.
Newson turns back to look at Lorella. Why would you cast me out from your family? What had I done to you?
To save the world.
But I'm not a danger to the world. I only want to help people and make the world better.
That's what made you dangerous.
I don't understand. Do you know what she means, Castor?
Castor looks super confused and is like, Lorella, what do you mean? And she won't talk.
Newson turns back to Castor and says, She mentioned something about seeds. She thought I was coming for seeds. Do you know which seeds she might mean?
We do collect rare plants. It could be any number of seeds, really. But Newson, how are you alive?
Do you mean that body in the grave we found? That wasn't me. That was just a dummy. I never died. I only lost my memory.
But I thought you died. Lorella, you told me you died.
That was a trick to make you think I wasn't around anymore. How did Clark die?
It was an accident. A horrible mistake. We study plants here in House Mystery. We search for rare plants, hunting for species that had previously been thought to be extinct. When we discovered a crop that could grow without water, light, soil, anything, and yielded plentiful food, we were delighted. You were too, Newson. We thought we could end world hunger, but we learned the truth when Clark passed. It didn't need water, light, or soil because it was consuming the remaining future lifespan time of its gardener. Clark, we learned too late. Lorella and I agreed that the plant was too dangerous and had to be destroyed. When Lorella and you went to destroy it, it took your life, and nearly Lorella's. How are you alive, Newson? And he looks at the heart beating in his hands.
Whose heart is that?
This is your heart. Or, Lorella, you told... When I first made you, Newson, it was only possible to truly bring you to life by giving you some of my own heart. The side effect was that if your heart ever stopped beating, mine would too. That's why, Lorella, you made me this jar. Well, Newson, I thought it was your heart inside. She said she'd been able to design this and keep your heart beating to save my life after you sacrificed yourself.
I see now. She wanted to get rid of me, but she wasn't so cruel that she wanted to kill her own father. Is that right, Lorella?
The only cruel person here is you.
But you won't tell me what I've done in your eyes.
That's the only way to save the world.
What about yourself? Juneau kind of pushes the dagger a little harder to encourage her to talk.
I haven't done anything wrong. I've just been protecting everyone. From you. And she points to Newson. Well, she would. She like head nods. And then the knife scrapes her neck. She's like, oh my gosh, why?
Please explain. Newson here seems like a very kind friend. I'm discovering I may not be as kind. Is it the brother's heart?
Nope.
No, okay.
Bro's dead. I'm glad you didn't dig him up.
And that's still an option.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay, so Newson's like a robot, right? Kind of? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are you just like...
An android.
Are you like the what movie was it? The movie with like the robot kid. And it was like, oh, you're not actually my son. I created you after the son died because I was so sad.
The gravestones did tell you what years they were created. / born for the biological one, yeah.
4, 9, 7.
So perhaps Newson and Lorella they both went to destroy the seeds of the plant, but perhaps they disagreed as to whether that should be done or not, or how it should be done.
Castor said, it's a plant that can grow and yield plentiful food without water, light, soil, or anything. Quote, we thought we could end world hunger, but we learned the truth when Clark passed.
I assume that Newson probably wanted to keep the plants alive and sacrifice his own life to help them grow, not knowing that that might kill the father?
Newson, do you know what you remember right now? You don't have to tell us where, but you now know where you hid the seeds for the potential infinite food plant. You have that information. So we've got a lot of possible endings here with this game. Newson, you have the information of where the seeds are. Meeting Castor again, visiting Clark's grave, confronting Lorella yet again has reminded you of exactly what happened to past Newson. Past Newson, who's, not the same as current Newson, thought that it was a waste to get rid of seeds that could feed the whole world. High-yield seeds that can grow anywhere, without water, without light, without soil. All you need is the right system. If it takes one human life or one life per year to generate infinite food, isn't that worth it? You remember these thoughts, and you remember the location of the seeds. Describe the ending of this adventure.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, right? Newson turns back to Lorella. Yes, I remember we disagreed. I wanted to feed the world, but you thought it was too high a cost. I was prepared to pay that price. I see now why you tried to stop me. But I'm different now. I have learnt through my encounters with the friends of mine in the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild that every life is precious, and one life is too much to give up, even if the benefit is great to lots of other people. I wouldn't want to lose any one of my friends now. So I think I owe you an apology, Lorella. You were right and I was wrong. I don't wish to have people die to feed the world. And if you like, I will tell you where the seeds are so you may destroy them once and for all.
Oh man, Juneau, when you get your memory back, you're going to be so sad.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably a good thing she doesn't have her memory, because she would immediately be going for those seeds.
As Lorella, Newson, and Castor go to the location of the seeds together and burn them. Muriel, can you help?
Oh, yes. Fireball immediately.
Oh my gosh. Juno, the camera pans back on you as you watch the bonfire of these extremely, extremely rare, possibly only one in the world seeds that could solve all hunger. And the flames lick them up. They pop and crackle like popcorn, and then the popcorn kernels themselves burn into dark, dark charcoal.
I think she's roasting a marshmallow because this Juno like does not care about plants without her memories. So she's just straight up.
Juno the assassin.
Dorothy brings tea. Oh man, Rowan gets a mild pay cut, and the adventure concludes with everyone having a bonfire, toasting some marshmallows, making some s'mores. Joining us for this adventure were Muriel.
I'm so glad I got to cast so much fire. That was great.
Newson.
At last I have my family back. I'm so grateful.
And Juno.
She's going to be so mad when she wakes up.
The end.
Yay.
Before we go, I'm going to check to see if we have any new reviews. Scrolling through my phone. Oh no, we don't. You have not made reviews in the last hour and a half. So sad. I'm going to cry, much like Juno is when she gets her memory back. So if you would like to prevent player crying and you like this episode, you should definitely leave us a review and we'll read it on air.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.